You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
Would you like to make some fuck buzzer? Would you like buzzer? Welcome to another edition of Mass, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw Ellie Red. You can find me on social media at Justin Harvey75.
Justin Harvey, you are nothing but a normal. You do not deserve to breathe the same air as I. And
I'm super kicking you, you homophobe.
You can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. You can find that guy at Byron Fever. You can find that guy at Lucha Gringo, and you can find that guy at MeFloaf. Anyway, hi guys, action figures.
Hi.
I went to the Target as I said that I would.
Yeah, what did you get us?
Nothing. Cleaned out, even in the hood.
I got some news.
Is gone. Only thing they had were like a few WWE figures, and they were garbagey.
I got action figure news.
What?
So there were a bunch of leaks that leaked out, like what was going to come out a week later. But basically,
like WandaVision leaks.
I don't know what WandaVision is. Is that a thing?
No, it's a thing.
So
It's
Cody Rhodes is officially the Triple H. He has WWE Triple H booking in the AEW action figure doll lineup. He has about 15 figures. 14 chases, and it's almost getting to a point where it's too much.
Why would you say that? It's never too much. It's never.
So I showed you guys the one I have, the Blood Brothers one with Dustin. I think that was awesome. He has a Throne Breaker one.
Yeah,
from the first wave, which
that's my nickname. What the fuck? Gimmick.
That's Casey's nickname, by the way. That's why he's not allowed.
For a whole different reason.
So he's not allowed in my home using my plumbing. But then wave four just came out for pre-orders and stuff. And there's another Cody with another chase. And I was excited because I wanted a TNT title. And the regular Cody is Cody without the neck tattoo that we all love.
And he has the neck tattoo in this new version.
And it's like, why? Like, there's nothing, like, he wears a t-shirt with his dog on it. There's really nothing too remarkable about it compared to like the other two. But then one on Friday came out. It was Championship Cody or something. And he has the TNT title and he has a bunch of different heads and stuff. That's the cool.
So I gotta point out that Byron, who complains,
he's got the Brody TNT title, right?
Byron, who complains about there being too many Codys, just ordered his third Cody Rhodes action figure.
Well, here's what's happening. I ordered that one. He has. I really hope that's the unfinished red TNT belt, and then they'll do Brody with the finished one. I really hope. The way I ordered a wave 4, pre-ordered the whole pack, and I'm gonna sell off my Cody, and I'm gonna probably try and sell off some of them, like the Hangman, because I'd rather get a Hangman in like wave 5. You know, a good one. The old one has his feet are too big and he's wearing his little underwears and not.
You know what this sounds like to me, Byron? This sounds like one of those things where like the older kid is like wanting to murder the newborn in the crib. You're upset that Cody's having a baby, aren't you? You're afraid that your daddy isn't going to love you anymore, aren't you? Is that what's going on here?
I think there's a lot to unpack about all my action figure talk, but I don't know if that's one of them.
I mean, that's
he said action figures. We're getting somewhere, lads.
He did.
Wow.
You tricked me. You guys tricked me.
That was an epic fail there, Byron.
Do you want me to show you my dolls now, or do you want to get into tasting?
Show me your what?
Dolls.
Oh, dolls. I heard a D and a couple other letters, and I didn't get it there.
Well, per our conversation last week about our wardrobe.
I don't know. I don't care. Look, here's what's going to happen today. We're going to do some things. We're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to do a Lucha Underground recap. Then we're going to stop recording today. And then I'm going to come back at some other point in time and talk about Royal Rumble. Because as of right now, it hasn't happened. Casey clearly will not be joining for that conversation.
It's going to be a big one.
I mean, it's funny too that Casey, when Sid is going to come in number 30, does not want to come back and talk about the Royal Rumble. But whatever.
Okay,
Sid's going to come in.
First of all, we've seen what happens when Sid gets the last fucking entrance and close to it in a Royal Rumble. Fucking Hulk Hogan pulls him out, and then they have to edit the crowd because they're booing because they wanted Sid to fucking win.
Of course.
So, WWE actually released that whole thing for free on YouTube, by the way, last week. The 91 or 92 Rumble. I'm blanking. The one that Flair won.
91.
At South Carolina Coliseum, steel cage against Harley Race.
Wow.
Somebody take the damn money.
You know, speaking of Sid, who was
This
it?
belt here means I'm the greatest wrestler on God's green earth. I don't get to do a Harley race a lot. I
No,
don't.
not very often. Not a lot of
Rest in
content.
peace.
The king. Listen, who was the idiot who was calling me out for not liking Sid just because I don't like Sting? Like, I may
that's my
disagree with
friend.
some opinions, but I'm not stupid.
Oh, that's my friend Adam that doesn't own a G.I. Joe Cobra Trooper.
Adam?
He just considered that would be your opinion because he thinks all of your opinions are shit now.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Look,
It
I
automatically
do-
defaults to.
even
do
a
want
person with a shitty opinion is not going to say that Sid sucks. Come on.
I don't know. There's a lot of people with shitty Sid opinions out there.
Really?
I just want to point out for our video viewers, this is the figure that Adam doesn't have right
Put it in
here.
the
My
center.
son.
Put it. Hold on.
Oh, that's so
Hold
dope.
on, Casey, hold on. This is really important.
Oh yeah.
Now put it in center frame
Oh, look at that.
and
Look at
take your
that.
time doing it.
Why is he taking his time? We shouldn't take our time with anything on this show, Byron. Do you know how long this show
You
is?
could take his helmet off too. I wish you could take off his pants.
See, that's why you take your time.
No.
It's a sexual thing, Justin.
Wow. No. A couple of interesting.
Yeah, you're talking to Jackhammer Harvey over here.
They don't call him the Outlaw Mud Show for nothing.
Wow. That's
Emphasis
amazing.
on the mud.
That's amazing.
How
Listen,
many times have we made that joke on the show?
twice.
Is that his OnlyFans
How
account?
many times are we going to sidetrack this one point you're trying to make?
I'm not trying to make one point. I just thought you might want to get done with the show sometime before it actually airs. That's just
That sounds like a Kevin problem, not a Casey problem. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a Byron problem every Monday.
Hey, you got to cut it together. Anyway, no, I was going to actually talk about Michael Chandler from UFC's Ric Flair promo that was so good that Ric Flair actually called him up and congratulated him on cutting a great Ric Flair promo. It's so weird. You know, we've talked about this before, but in MMA, like, yes, it's a real sport. You're actually fighting people, but after you win and they give you the hot stick, cut a real promo like this. There's no reason not to.
It's not a Ric
no
Flair
reason.
promo unless it starts with "Made, woo, good guy, G." That's the only Ric Flair I could do, though. Those words, like I can't do any other Ric Flair. I'm sorry.
Well,
you do
he did actually start it with a Ric Flair line. I don't remember what it was, but it was the "I'm so thankful," blah blah blah. It's from one of the famous Ric Flair.
I
ones.
work on my wrestler impressions as I'm driving, and like a couple weeks ago, I was working on my Ric Flair, and like somebody in another car saw me, and they were laughing at me. I guess I was like pretty into it.
That's their problem. Is there a Ric Flair catchphrase? Like, he's won so many championships, he has catchphrases about winning, but is there a catchphrase for all the times he's been divorced?
No, but there is. I have more belts than you've had pieces of ass. Woo!
Woo! That's my favorite promo with him in 6.
Yeah, that was great. Remember when the guy got the sign that said "6 sucks dicks" on TV? was pretty
Super awesome. You know, that is one of the nice things that has kind of gone from wrestling in general, and hopefully after COVID will never come back as signs.
Yeah, they could go away.
I've done it a
know.
couple of times myself, so I can't like completely hate on it, but it's really not. It's not a good thing. It's like you're taking an obstruction to everyone else who's there for what? To get over on one little catchy thing.
Yeah.
Let's explain, because we brought some very pro Pentagon signs to Ultima Lucha, and the reason we did it is because we thought that the dumb bookers would make him lose, which happened more often than not, mind you, at Ultima Lucha. So we were fucking right.
Well,
But I liked how we freeze framed and got a still of the show with Vampiro walking down the steps and taking a look at us. Like, he's like, these guys are hoping that I die right in front of them. Anyway, so did you want to see? Did you want to see my Orange Cassidy?
Oh my gosh! Do I want to see your fire?
I don't think I'll see that.
What?
Yeah, know what I mean.
Do you are drunk, Byron. Is that your anus, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't
know. Do you want to see my white DeVito?
No redhead should be saying, "Do you want to see my Orange Cassidy?"
You want to see my Orange Cassidy?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
You know what?
Yes.
I got a beef with that name. You know, a wrestler named Orange Cassidy should be at least Hulk Hogan like in skin tone. This is the biggest disappointment in wrestler names since Black Terry.
I got it.
Meef got that joke. All right.
Now, first of all, do the hands go into the pockets?
Look at this.
The hand is in the pocket.
Okay.
That's
the
bad.
Both hands go in the pockets, but Byron is fucking our audience by putting the wrong fucking hand on him to show us that.
I have the thumbs up hand.
Yeah, if you put one hand in his pocket, he just looks like he's beaten off.
Yeah,
no,
Byron lost the other hands up his ass, so he can't show you.
Me, if you know that's not true.
Yeah, his prostate is freshly squeezed right now.
It's irresponsible. Unlike him in matches,
smoother with extra juicy bits.
Sunglasses actually will come on. Here
wow,
and he looks just as bad as an action figure with them off as he does in real life. Put him back on.
We're putting him back on.
He looks worse because he's got the junkie bags under his eyes, like all of the.
So I'm gonna do really quickly. I got a bunch of figures, so I'm gonna go through the back ones real quick. Here's hi, did I hit the mic harder?
Yeah, you did.
Good.
It's really good for our listeners.
The woman's belt is pretty dope.
Yeah,
she's pretty dope, except for her face scan is just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, dude, look, there was COVID, there was problems, and they had to get they just had to get Bette Midler to do the scan for her. It's not her fault.
She has a chase that's cool, and it has a different face that's better. It's like it's the expression that really messes her up, you know.
It's just the printing that they do messes it up because they're shit.
Like what I'm gonna do probably with a lot of these is in the later waves when Justin's gone because we have a woman doll and he doesn't trust us to be mature.
Look how long her fucking finger is, dude.
I know there's
Jesus Christ.
So what I'm gonna do is when there's later waves, like when they do them again and they do them better, I'm probably gonna get rid of the originals. So here's Pac. Speaking of someone, a figure that sucks.
That's a pretty good Drew McIntyre figure.
He has a chair, which is not to scale. I don't know why he has
a bob haircut that is also not to scale.
So I'm using the head that has his face covered up because otherwise he looks like Wade Barrett or Drew McIntyre, I guess, if you want to do that joke. And so they didn't make the hair long enough in the front. And it looks dumb, but it looks less dumb than the other one. And also he's a little like jacked troll, and he doesn't look like that at all. He's
not jacked enough. He should be way more jacked.
But Pac is still cool, so he's going to represent Morete del Triangolo soon.
It's not how that's said. It's not the name.
Jesus Christ.
What just happened?
And then I got the Young Bucks, of course. These are dope. Nick has stuff on his face.
Bob,
oh my
you're
God.
My number
Who's that supposed to be?
Guy.
Look how bad they are. Jesus Christ, it looks nothing like them.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Anyway, these are pretty dope. I didn't get the first one.
This town needs an enema.
But you could also tell, like, if you see Matt, like, it's like they definitely did not fix the bags under the eyes of these guys. Anyway, it's just cool to have these. You put them in the background.
Did I show you my Matt Jackson action figure?
Hold on.
Here's my Matt Jackson figure right here.
Okay.
Wow.
I get it. So this is my favorite one. Darby.
That one's actually
that one rules. That one's great.
Yeah.
Dude, show the detail on the skateboard. That's fucking amazing.
Here's the skateboard.
Skateboard sweet.
Fucking sick. So
yeah, suck it, Tech Deck.
This is an accessory that's dope, and I'm looking forward to his TNT.
Is that smooth
title version?
Tape deck though, or is it actually?
There's a little bit of texture, so he could stand on it.
It kind of bugs me they didn't put some foot pegs on that shit, but
like old G.I. Joe style.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so you have
magnets. They could have done magnets.
See all
magnets are expensive.
And then on the inside you have like his Green Day quote tattoo.
Oh God.
That's a Green Day quote. So first of all, I wouldn't have known that because I don't know any Green Day lyrics. Second of all, that really makes me not like him again. Now.
That I didn't know that
he's
either,
awful.
and I'm changing my views on Darby Allin right now.
Yeah. Why are you ruining this for your boy Darby?
So-
He's basically Australian suicide now.
Oh,
Was it the emo phase? Is that the lyrics?
No, so it is lyrics in the song, but he got it because
From
he got
what song,
Correct.
Byron?
Letter Bomb off American Idiot. You're looking it up?
Oh, fucking hell. No one needs to look it up because it's American Idiot album, and then that's the death of like a band that we never need to talk about.
American Idiot rules. Anyway, so this is great. No, but the quote is actually it's inspired because he got in a car accident when he was a kid with his uncle, and his uncle died and he lived. So that's
We've seen all 57 promos where he mentions this. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not a Green Day, but it's also using in a Green Day song. So I thought I'd try and just make you guys feel bad.
Ruin.
We are okay. I'm done.
all right.
Casey,
Good.
do you have something?
Do
you have those?
no.
He was making
not unless you want to talk about the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, look at this. Look, it's got fucking Big Jim.
Why don't
Big
you
Jim
hold
and
it
the Twins.
still so we could see it?
Because it's the Ultimate Warrior, you dumbass.
You
Does he
can't
ever
stand
stand
still.
Okay, look at this. All right. Comes with the IC belt. It's too fucking wide. It's got articulated tassels, so you can, make it look like he's
That's
running
nice.
and shit.
Assholes. Is
Also, you can
Articulated
fucking
tassels.
murder him. RIP, he's already dead in real life. No, the reason you murder him though is because
Can you put Hulk
can
Hogan's head on it?
No.
You put
You
Liger's
can
head?
put on a messed up face paint version so that it's later in the match.
That's
Oh,
kind of
that's cool.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah. So when you have someone beating him up, like
learn the word, boss. I don't like snakes.
That reminds me of that one match where Andre beat him in like 2 minutes by sitting on him, holding onto the rope, and just didn't get up. So the ref just had to count 3.
Boss, I shit on Bad News Brown one time, boss.
he really did. He really did shit on Bad News Brown once.
I've never doubted that story once ever. Hey,
yeah, I've had it
so
confirmed, man. He straight up diarrheaed on him, man.
last week we added Taya Valkyrie to the Wall of Fame for actually showing up for work, unlike Tessa Blanchard, who is on the Wall of Shame. But for showing up all the way through her Impact contract and now being out of it. Still haven't heard where she's going. I'm imagining it's WWE. She's been shouting out.
I don't
her
know, but
friends.
they better fucking look out since all she does is kill people.
Taya?
mhm.
That's true. I got to be honest with you guys. I feel like we're going to have some sort of weird, surreal reality warp on the show where we start the show saying, I don't know where she is. And we're going to end the show saying how awesome Taya was on the Royal Rumble when she
Now,
debuted.
maybe look, that could very well happen in 45 minutes or so when I talk about the Royal Rumble on this thing. Then maybe that
45 minutes.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful
I gotta
thinking.
keep Josh Pillow around for as long as I can in an episode. I mean, I know Goatsay will be there, but who knows who else will make it that far?
Josh is still listening to like our original one.
It will be the last
you,
segment,
boss.
so stick around if you want to know what we think about the Royal Rumble. But
Please don't.
we also added bad wrestling media and dirt sheets to the Wall of Shame last week, thanks in part to the poor reporting and coverage of Roosh signing with Mass Republic. In other words, what I'm trying to say is Kevin Kleinrock paid me to say that.
Oh,
Wait,
Oh.
I want to get paid. Pay me to
yeah.
not edit it out.
I just want those Lucha Bros figures to come out. How about that? Is it 2037 yet?
I can't wait for the Lucha Bros 2040 first.
I mean,
quarter.
we're gonna have to wait. You
Yeah,
know, when
you're
we're
gonna have
senior
to keep
citizens and finally get those figures,
You had it-
hopefully, Hopefully,
can't wait
Penn
for
and
the
Phoenix
Dragon.
are still alive to sign him for us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, you had a great joke earlier today when you were like, by the time they come out, Master Republic's going to lose the license, and then they won't be able to sell them.
yeah, that was pretty good.
By the time this airs, we should have been crowned the podcast of the year by LuchaCentral.com.
Yeah.
That better be happening as we speak, because that voting ends on the 31st. This airs right after that.
I want to retire on a high note. So, like, I've got like 2 weeks left before I quit this show. Just come on.
Damn, you're going to pre-record 300 more episodes before the end of 2 weeks from now? Great.
No, dude, I'm just going to fucking mail it in and do it bi-weekly like I have been for the past month. Because the MMM show is by a lot of things, and weekly is one of them. How you doing over there, Meef, you tasty little snack?
Yeah, really.
Anytime, sugar.
Okay, but I gotta add, I think I really want to add Adam Pearce to the Wall of Shame. Because how shameful is it that you get added to the Royal Rumble in the headline match? We talked about this last week a little bit, but how shameful is it that you get added? Everyone pops for it. The whole wrestling world is like, yeah, that's actually a good call. That guy used to be NWA champ. This could totally work. This will be fun. This will be exciting. And then within a week, they pull you for KO. KO, who's cutting hot promos and whatnot. But literally the shortest lived title run in history. I think Adam Pearce has got to go on the friggin' Wall of Shame for that.
I feel like we can't put Adam Pearce on the Wall of Shame because he's a fucking legend. I love that guy. Like, come on, when I was going to shows all the time, he was my NWA champion. All right,
okay.
You know, you could have your Ric Flairs and you could have your Dusty Rhodes, and they could all kiss my ass. No, that's
Nick Aldis.
Shane Douglas.
Nick Aldis is a good champion.
I like Nick Aldis.
Look, if you come out and you have a nickname like Scrap Iron, that all the fans chant Crap Iron at you instead, Crap Iron, and it doesn't even make sense, and you just tell them to shut up instead of saying that doesn't even make sense, that makes you a better man. So I cannot ever put Adam Pearce on the Hall of Shame. And the other reason is I thought you were saying Adam Cole at first. I wasn't really listening because I was playing with Andre, and I was going to say Adam Cole can't go into the Wall of Shame because we don't fat shame.
Oh, wow. He is
Adam
a giant
Cole.
man.
He's so fat.
Breaks chairs, dude.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, behind me is a little movie called Transfer 6 that is appearing on Tubi. I got to tell you, this week I found a lot of fun stuff on Tubi. They're putting up a lot more wrestling now. I finally watched the original version of the Knight Family documentary, the wrestlers fighting with my family. Me?
How come you didn't watch
me, Flo? Why don't you like the Knights? Seriously, what's wrong with the Knight family?
They're psychotic. They've just absolutely like the most carny people in the world. If that's if ever there was a wrestling family that said
we celebrate so many other people for that. I feel like there's a double standard because they're British, and
it's because they're from Norwich, and I fucking hate Norwich.
That's fair. I think they hate Norwich too, to be fair, though. Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting to watch. Have you seen their actual version of that?
I actually thought that was a good documentary, and I really enjoyed it.
I thought so too, and you know, it almost made me think of the cinematic version produced by The Rock,
which I hated.
Yeah,
had to miss out all of the drugs and violence. Prison sentences. They
alluded to it, though. I don't think they shied away from it. I mean, they pretty clearly acknowledged that they were scumbag people and that they were looking, you know, for wrestling to help save them from being scumbags, which, other than Paige, kinda, it never really did. But that's the weird thing to me is you watch the original documentary and you can tell Paige really is a star and she makes the documentary interesting and she's not being full of crap. She's just kind of like, yeah, this was my brother's dream. Funny how it's me somehow. This kind of sucks. And she's being totally real the whole time. But then the girl who plays Paige in the other movie version is not nearly as good as Paige. And it makes me wonder why they didn't just cast Paige in it. It's not like she was doing
the same thing. And I also got to say, Midsummer is a piece of shit movie, and I'll fight people on it. I'll fucking fight you.
I don't think one, like, for the wrestling portions, they couldn't probably get Paige because of her neck, but also for anything else, when they were filming, they probably couldn't get her from Del Rio.
ADR, her and ADR were on some kind of crazy sex
drug fuel.
Yeah, if her neck was fucked, that would make some sense.
He was definitely fucking her neck.
No, but it is funny to think.
We just don't know if he was trying to hang her or not.
You watch that documentary and it's like it does end too soon because like the stuff in her story that happens after WWE, it's like let's hear the rest of the story of how you get a little bit of fame and how things go crazy and how quickly the abuse of wrestling takes its toll on your body and all those other parts of the story that you don't get. You know, and it almost makes it interesting for me just because I know those parts of the story.
But what sucks
not some just happy ending where she gets to WWE and gets rid of her crazy family.
Honestly, though, if you did it now, you could have a happy ending because things are good for her and she's turned everything around. So, and
she's back. And she's got like a regular day job, you know, with WWE and makes money and doesn't have to do a whole lot. And it's super duper groovy ending.
And she has her Twitch. She has her makeup line. She has, you know, professional
the Hot Topic deal and all
professional things she's doing, which is great.
And she's got a great excuse to avoid her Carney brothers. So,
oh my God, that one time that you know William Regal, you know how clean he keeps his nose these days, and he even had to do some sort of tweet about her brother.
Yeah,
like it's just like they're that bad.
Yeah, like bro, it's
I've been on shows where they've been on the card.
And what did you do to them?
Well, one of them wrestled like drunk / hungover. I know that one for sure.
Did you fight him?
No.
Did you?
Look, I can't shit on that when I'm such a big fan of the Sandman.
That's true. Well, no, that's different because like there's a thing like when you take ADHD medicine like Adderall and you actually have the brain wiring wrong, that slows you down. But if you don't have it, it speeds you up. And Sandman is similar in that if he were to wrestle sober, it would be extremely dangerous to his opponent. But if he were blackout drunk by the time he got to the ring, soft as Lance Storm.
Wow. That's a good point. We'll go out on that. Right now, let's kick it over to our good friend, Denise Salcedo. She's not really a friend at all.
I don't think she knows who our show is.
She might know. I've talked to her a couple of times in DM, but then she was just like,
"Do you know famous now?"
She's like, "Do you know any famous wrestlers you can get on my YouTube show so that I can make everybody like me more?" I don't know. Isn't that what happened? Something like that.
That's literally what happened. Yeah.
No, I don't know. She takes a lot of crap, but I don't really have any problem with her. I'm just busting balls.
She's living her best life.
No, I just mean that because no one knows what our show is. It wasn't a shot at Denise. It was a shot at our show.
Thanks.
I want to make that very clear.
Now I feel terrible. So fine. Let's just go listen to a way more famouser podcaster than any of us, Denise Salcedo over in Lucha Central to tell us about everything that's happening this week on the Lucha Central Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch all of the great network content this week. Get the full lineup and listen to all of our shows in the podcast network section of luchacentral.com. Sundays on the Lucha Central Facebook page, world-traveled shooter of the camera kind, Jerry Villagrana goes mano a mano with a fellow photographer to throw down about some of their favorite photos they have taken at Lucha Libre events. Monday, Business of the Business returns as Mass Republic President Kevin Kleinrock takes you inside how your favorite Lucha Libre merchandise gets made. On Tuesdays, Mass Mats and Mayhem takes you inside the world of Lucha Underground as they take you weekly through the series with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of special guests from the groundbreaking series. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. Tuesday nights live, it's Wrestle Boss, where Favi Chulo talks MMA and pro wrestling with special guests and listener call-ins. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros. giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. Thursdays, it's straight out of the bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez, as they have guests from throughout the wrestling world pull up to give an inside look into their careers. From indie standouts to television superstars, each week brings a new name and perspective. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms, either by their own series name or subscribe to the Lucha Central Podcast Network show pages to get all of the shows in one easy feed. And please consider giving a rating to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central Central. Have a great week.
What were you
Live
saying?
with
Byron?
their parents.
What? Who's living with their parents?
No, I'm cutting this out. But
No,
lives
you
with her
can't.
parents.
You can't cut that. I said the "and we're back" part.
And
I
it's
cut it
just
out.
like,
I say,
hey,
and we're back.
if you're living with your parents and it's not due to just absolute life devastation, then there's a problem.
Okay. Well,
Oh, okay.
shit.
Thanks.
Oh,
I'm glad you specified that. So I'm in
That's,
the clear.
that's half this podcast.
yeah. I'm just
3/4 of this podcast now. 3/4 of this podcast.
temporary, man.
Oh, it's
temporary.
only a matter of time, Byron. It's only a matter of time.
Oh man.
I keep putting skateboards on the stairs.
Hey, Byron's done it for.
No, I definitely do that too. You know,
Oh man.
there's no shame. It's good to spend time with your parents as much as you can.
Yeah, whatever, Byron. We're all pathetic. We get it. Thanks a lot.
Byron, that doesn't mean you make a meat suit out of them.
I have another. No,
You
I
sick
have,
fuck.
I have another review.
Of what?
I got to no. Just first of all, who the fuck
From
is
whom?
eating?
Meef is eating. We've already established it's okay to eat on this
I
program.
got a review of a book.
Mukbang. Oh wow! Look at that blast from the past. Can I tell people what this is, Byron?
No, segment's
Yes,
over.
because I haven't actually read it.
Is it an autographed copy?
No, not yet.
So, this was a book a long time ago. I used to run a comedy company with a good friend of mine, Charlie DeMarco, who is responsible for the Mass Mats and Mayhem logo.
Yes.
He helped
Charlie.
design that logo as a work for hire. Don't sue. Anyway, so Charlie was kind of in charge of this thing on the creative end, and I was kind of the chief operating officer, and we had lots of business going on in Hollywood. But we had this buddy, Mike Polk, who was in a different comedy group in college, and he's the guy that is famous for the Cleveland tourism videos and whatnot. But he had this article in our website called "Look at My Striped Shirt," and he decided to. We decided to turn that into a book that we sold to Random House. And basically, a bunch of us writers all wrote these first-person diatribes from people that you absolutely love to hate, like the guy at the time, we're talking mid-2000s, who would wear the striped shirt and crush a bunch of Red Bulls and try to get laid all the time. But yeah,
Byron.
my photograph
What?
is in there somewhere. Did you see my photograph in there? The pencil-thin beard photograph? I wrote a couple of pieces in here and helped punch up a few. Charlie wrote a ton. Mike Polk wrote a ton.
Oh, there's a picture of Justin with his shirt off.
I can't see what that says. What is that one?
Just trust. Oh, it says, "Dear myself in 1988."
Yeah.
First of all, stop eating.
There's some funny ones in
I
there.
was 8 years old in 1988.
I was like 6 months old.
Justin, what page are you on?
Oh, I don't freaking know. I don't even have a copy of that thing anymore. I gave my last copy to Larry the Cable Guy.
I'll sign this and give it to you.
Wait, you're going to sign my book and give it to me instead of me signing my book and giving it to
Well,
you?
he is
yeah, I'll do you the
famous
favor.
actually
storm
be
chaser.
great.
There's a few copies of it left out there. There's a photograph of me in there that has this pencil thin beard, like a Prince looking thing. That I
can
think
see
Charlie,
that. I think you
Charlie
should bring
wrote
him
the
up.
actual story of my pencil thin beard is so effing sweet or something. And then I wrote a couple of in there, but
I'm gonna
it's a fun little book.
take a couple seconds to try and find it. Oh, I think I found it.
This is good. This is great. This is great audio and video.
Yeah.
Byron sitting there reading a book to himself.
Riveting.
Here we go.
Oh,
Byron, we can't see. Just so
Yeah,
you know
you got to get way closer to the camera.
I should have been a drug dealer. Yeah, that's not me. That's Sleepy Low.
Oh,
Whoa, Byron. Whoa.
Byron
right,
is
you know.
totally saying that all black people look alike. I see what you did there.
No,
I
I'm
see.
not.
Anyway,
he,
look,
No,
he
I'm not.
absolutely, he's going to edit this out of the show so that he's not racist.
He didn't say it, but he implied it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So
What I'm
before I
gonna do
talk
is
about
I'm gonna
AEW,
I'm going to say a bunch of
Byron?
horrible stuff, and then when you guys lump in on it and say more horrible
Calm down,
stuff,
Hulk Hogan.
I'm going to cut my stuff out, and then you guys
Well-
will look bad.
here's what you have to do, Byron. This week, first of all, you have to learn how to read. Second, you have to read the actual book, and then next week you have to tell us if you actually thought it was funny or not. No influence from me. Just tell me what you actually think of the book and if it's funny.
And lastly,
I got it.
in the words of the Iron Sheik, go fuck yourself.
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
First of
how
all-
dare
first
you?
of all-
You know, I'm glad that you come to the writer director of Delusions of Morons to know what comedy is.
No. I want to know what his level of sense of humor is. I already know the book's funny. I just want to see if
Jesus
he
Christ.
thinks it's funny.
How low the bar is.
He
So-
found the picture. Oh,
Yeah, there it is.
Every time we're on.
wow. That is Trancer's Justin right there.
Yeah.
My
that's
pencil
just-
thin beard is perfect.
Ladies, you can send your emails to at MMMshow75@gmail.com.
First of all, I'd like to say that Charlie is absolutely a phenomenal Photoshop artist. There's no way that I could have connected that pencil thin thing. Look at yeah, maybe I could have.
That's full on Smash Mouth. What was wrong with you back then?
No, Byron,
Somebody
Byron,
once told me my father-
we should get Justin to go back to that look because our seed will stick less to his face.
Oh, look, and I was
Take it easy.
on TV too. There I am right there. I'm a prisoner.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
I'm taking some prisoners somewhere.
Yeah,
That
I think I
cool
should.
shirt.
That's embarrassing, Justin, that you have like something of you
Oh,
playing in
wait.
the
This one
background.
Justin pistol whips the lady. Oh,
It's just my
it was a
cue.
rifle butt. It was a rifle butt.
Yeah, it's just my cue from Tubi playing, man. I'm in the queue along with some wrestling movies and some Lucha Underground. Anyway, there was one
yeah.
other piece of news that I wanted to get to before we talk
About
about
Sting.
AEW, which was not about him. WWE Network is moving to Peacock.
Yeah.
This is very interesting because of the setup, because right now, if you have WWE Network, you're paying $9.99 a month. But if you have the regular premium ad-supported tier of Peacock, you will be able to, starting with the Fastlane pay-per-view, get WWE Network on there. And I believe traditional WWE Network is going away.
Right. So
believe you
if
can
you have an
only get it through
Amazon
Peacock.
device, if you have an Amazon device, learn to hack that shit like a normal person, or you're not going to have any WWE Network because they don't have Peacock.
I can't. I have to imagine this is one of those things that's going to push it over the top. Just like HBO Max wasn't on Roku, but then they got the Wonder Woman thing, and that was pretty much a done deal. You know, so it's unavoidable. These companies will have to work something out. I think.
I hacked HBO Max onto my Fire TV the first day it came out. So
right, but now they have it. Now you can get it on Fire, right? Because I know.
yeah, but it was late. It wasn't as late as Roku though. Like they came like way
Roku
late.
was literally like the week before Wonder Woman came out. They're like, crap. There's a major release coming out that we can't show. Like we have to fix this.
And then that
We're still
movie
waiting to
ended up
happen to the UK.
sucking, and
But so now here's the weird part about it that we were kind of discussing
Mhm.
is that for $4.99, it's the ad-supported premium version. So Peacock has a few different versions. There's the free version where you can get a few things. Then they have the premium version, which unlocks the whole library, except it still has ads. And that's $4.99. And that'll be the one that includes WWE Network. But I have to assume that if it's on that tier, they're still going to throw ads in. So maybe live pay-per-views, you wouldn't have to watch the ads, but I'm betting any rebroadcast or delayed version of it, you're going to get ads in that bad boy.
probably just the beginning, though. You would think.
I don't know, man. If you look at like Hulu and some of these other services, and even Tubi
Right.
put the ads in, they put them in, man.
God, they're so awkward
They're
on
random
Tubi. They
times.
don't even put them on ad breaks in Tubi. They're just like in the middle of sentences
They'll
and
just
shit.
they'll just throw them in, and then there's like a little rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you
If it's
never
an
know when
hour,
they're
it's every
coming-
15 minutes. But
You never know when they're coming on Tubi either. Though I will say this: Tubi has done a great job with it.
I'm sure Tubi likes that.
Yeah. Tubi has done a great job with its library. I never cease to find something weird on there that I like. They seem to suit my sensibilities perfectly, from weird mid 90s, late night comedy Skinamax movies to like kaiju films and anime and wrestling now, tons of wrestling. Like I have to say I'm not mad at it. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting, but I also realized this. If you really hate the ads and you are really a huge WWE mark, you can still pay the $9.99 and have the ad-free version of Peacock. So you can't really complain about the ads because literally for the same price that you're paying now, you can get it ad-free.
Yeah, and it is carrying over the entire 17,000 hour tape library to Peacock. That's been confirmed.
Except for one thing that is still missing. Do you know what WWE owns the rights to that they will not put on WWE Network, and I'm furious about?
British wrestling.
The Chris Benoit tribute episode of Raw?
Nope. Tap Out. The Tap Out TV show. The show that made me a TV producer. The show that I love dearly more than anything is closer to my heart. They own the rights to it now, and they won't put it on.
So not only do they put the show off of TV, they change the logo into a dick and balls, and it's a small dick. It's a small dick. It's like the same size as the balls.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm so irritated by it because it's a great show, but you can't even get the DVDs anymore because WWE owns the rights to it. So whatever was already distributed is all that's out there. And it sucks. I mean, it's a place where Cowboy Cerrone got discovered. John Dodson got discovered,
Sounds like a job for you two.
Julie Kedzie was out there. Yeah, I mean, it's out there. You can find it, but it's just kind of annoying that they don't just, like, what does it hurt to just stuff it in there somewhere and just leave it there? The problem
That's
is
what Byron says on these first dates.
Yeah. The problem is they don't have like a category where it would fit in because it's other programming. It's MMA. It's not wrestling.
Maybe because they're going over to this Peacock thing, it might find its way in there.
Maybe. I mean, it's just random programming that they have. Why not just stick it up somewhere? Who cares? It's not going to lose them money by putting it up somewhere. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's talk about a little bit of AEW Dynamite. Wait, do they say it like that? Like my third cousin JJ says it?
Dude,
JR does.
That would be amazing. And he's still alive, right?
Yes,
Jim Ross.
He is. We didn't have the family reunion this year that we were supposed to have, so I did not. I haven't seen him in 10 years or so, but he is still alive.
I need an autograph photo of him and the Guyver, not in Good Times, in Guyver.
Eddie Archer or Eddie Kingston, Lance Archer. Anything to say other than Butcher and Blade and Bunny help Eddie with the big duster?
I thought it was a good. Well, I don't know how to describe slobber knocker, I guess, type of match. I thought it was Hoss fight. I thought it was really good. And once again, everything Eddie does matters. And then Allie, like we were talking about, I think last week or the week before, has really like come into that character really well. And I love that Butcher and the Blade are,
I think so.
relevant.
Honestly, Allie is, some people in wrestling are better in support roles. I think she's finding her place there. I think she actually got pushed too much, some in Impact at a certain point in time. And it was tough. I mean, a lot of these younger wrestlers, they get these moments and they get pushed so hard, but it's like there's this burnout factor. Like you're pushing this person to do stuff every week, but you're not giving them anything to do. And then you're wondering why you're burning out the character or whatever. This is a much better
girl.
Yeah.
The poor girl had to pretend to be in love with QT Marshall.
That was so weird. I mean, I get it. I get like, okay, fine. You got a good bunkhouse brawl match out of it. That's cool. But that was so weird. She's married to the Blade, who's an absolute stud. And she's going and she's hanging out with the Apple guy. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, and by the way, I got to tell you guys to go visit demonbunny.com, hook up my man, Tony Lucasio, our world famous heel manager, Tony Lucasio from NWA. Anyway, I thought it was good. I thought that the dragging out Jake worked. Everything about it worked. It wasn't like anything special to write home about. But it was a good match.
But I think they're gonna have a rematch, right?
Then the other thing, yeah, I think
if they're having a rematch. Then like I also I totally understand that they would hold off big spots. But still, Eddie got choke slammed outside the ring onto the apron.
No, it was a good spot too. There's a lot of apron stuff I saw this week. The weird thing about this episode of AEW, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing and probably something they need to do a lot more often, but there was a lot of backstage promos. And I think they're really starting to try to find their rhythm with backstage stuff. I don't know if they've completely found it or not, but it's helping. Like, it's making storylines matter. It's not, like when we were watching the show back in November and October, there was nothing backstage. Everyone was just coming to the ring. There was no real promos. Commentary wasn't really doing a great job of filling in the holes in the stories, and it just didn't feel like any matches mattered. Like, I'm not a huge fan of a show with 6 backstage promos or whatever, but at the same time, you got to have them to make it make sense. Like, you want these stories to make sense in the wrestler's own words, right? Not just Tony Schiavone telling me why a match matters all the time.
Yeah.
Does that make
Well,
sense?
you'd see an occasional one of like the main guys, like the Bucks, or Jericho might get something, but they weren't really distributing it throughout all the stories, all the characters. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode of AEW. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun. Although I'm trying to remember what happened.
So first of all,
what did you think of the sorry to be out of order. I mean, I loved the Jungle Boy Dax match. That was getting hyped up a whole bunch beforehand, and I thought that was really great. But the Sting Darby promo.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Really?
I thought like Sting probably
and Darby beat up a window. Come on, they did this way better in Lucha Underground. If you're going to beat up a window, have it cancel the whole match and get your hand broken. Like, let's take it real. Like, you can't tell me that this was a good segment. Beating up a window.
I think Sting. I think they did the best they could as far as the words, like executing that. But it was a little bit
almost committed suicide by accident.
Yeah. But it was kind of just a weird. It was just a weird concept. I much more enjoyed the Team Taz beat down of a random merch table, which also doesn't make sense. But I loved it.
You had a lot of these segments. First you had Mox thinking that the reunited Elite won't work because they're like the young and the restless, and then the Death Circle doesn't like him. So that one was a little awkward too, because it was like Mox saying, pretty much all these people don't like me, but I'm going to go and fight with them anyway. Rah, rah. And that was weird. Then you get,
I don't know. To me, that tracks with his personality. And he also included in the promo.
His personality. I just was
He's got personality.
That's all it was.
I dig it. He also dropped the line, "I like to have sex in the morning because it's a great way to start the day," which I thought was funny.
And then you had Stink and Darby beating up a window. Then my favorite one was Pac, when he said something about
that was the great one.
Pac of Deutsche Minkrels. What does that mean? That's how I wrote it down. A Pac of Deutsche Minkrel. Yeah. Pack of dirty
mongrels.
Meave, can you translate?
It does sound like dirty something.
Yeah, I don't think he speaks Scotch.
He's a Geordie, so he's in between.
Oh, so, yeah. Meave is not from Newcastle upon Tyne. Thank you very much.
It's all the same.
I'm from Yorkshire, which is below. Or if we go to the old school, that's Warwickshire from Northumbria, which was the Viking days.
Right.
And Geordie land is Newcastle, is literally almost the border with Scotland. It's not all the way there. You got Carlisle and stuff like that between, but yeah.
And do they
eat very much
or something? I mean, that was like the most incomprehensible.
They say "Why, man" to say hello.
Why, man?
I know a dude from what was the one that was way up at the top? Carlisle. Ooh, weird fucking dude, man. Weird fucking dude.
That's a weird place.
What other segments? Oh yeah, so we had the wrecking of the merch table.
Yeah, but that's notable for two things. One, the Rey Mysterio lawn dart tribute.
Yeah.
And two, Ricky Starks just press slamming someone through a table. And
I loved that segment.
It was great.
And then spot on too. I mean, Sting merch would piss me off that bad too.
The ultimate Ricky Starks. Yeah.
The absolute Ricky Starks is the man. He's one of my favorites on the show.
No, but if he's doing press slams, he's the ultimate Ricky Starks.
And let's see. We had Sammy and MJF kind of keep their heat going.
I wish some of our other hosts read the chat once in a while. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh God, here we go. I got to lean in on my phone and have a look.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the setup for that.
So here's something that happened recently. I had
speaking of weird things.
Hold on. So speaking of weird things the team has, I was watching Dark, and they made a fart joke about how Cage farts a lot backstage, right? And then coincidentally, Cage also tweeted that he just figured out he was too buff, he was too jacked to armpit fart. And I tweeted at him, I bet with all the protein, with your protein intake, you make up for it in other ways, which is funny because then Excalibur and Taz made fun of him for farting.
Well, let me tell you something there, Byron and the Outlaw. I got to talk to you a little bit about this because he doesn't need to be doing no fart noises backstage because there's 3 letters on the wall behind me. You see what those are? ECW. And let me tell you, when I think of ECW, I get PTSD from the farts. If you don't think the ECW had the most extreme farts in the business, I got 2 words for you. Francine. Oh, wow. Let me tell you, brother.
The queen of extreme, really?
She was the queen of extreme farts, brother. Let me tell you, that girl could melt the chrome off of a trailer hitch, brother.
But she was so thin. She was
okay, well, listen, looks can be deceiving because, she's a tomato, but she still could destroy the place. Let me tell you. All right, I got another witness I can call to talk to you, okay? Okay. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, Paulie, hey, thanks for joining us.
I'm here to testify that the queen of extreme, Francine, used to fart horribly in ECW. I mean, one time I got a complaint from the ladies in the bingo hall. And they said that the paint was peeling off the walls of the Viking Hall due to contaminated air. So I went and I bought the biggest and ugliest house plants that I possibly could find to suck up all the atmosphere. And I put them right in that entranceway. If you watch those old ECW tapes, you can see those fucking plants.
So when people used to say in the locker room that Francine will blow you away, this is what they actually meant?
Well, let me tell you something, Justin. Do you know what happened to those plants? They're fucking dead. And I should know because I'm from the Red Hood section of Brooklyn, New York, and all my friends are dead or in jail, and those plants are dead.
I don't know how you guys survived.
Why are those plants your friends? And I might say anything that may be taking that contaminated air out of my nostrils would be my friends. It used to be that every once in a while I'd have an entrance where some orange fog would come out from behind me. Well, that wasn't a smoke machine, brother. That was Francine. There was one thing that she would say after that happened. She would say, just another victim of the human flatulence machine.
Did she ever pin you, Taz?
Baby, if you can survive, if I let you.
Oh my God. I don't know where we just went, but I'll take it.
Join us next week.
Yeah, I mean, downhill from here. We're going to keep going, but it is absolutely 100% all downhill from here. The other promo that I was going to talk about was Cody responding to Shaq. Man, this show really was promo heavy. I mean, you got wow. So yeah, you had the Sammy and MJF on AEW, and then you had this Cody responds to Shaq. Let's Arn the coach. It's really weird because Cody's not a bad talker, but he seems to like to set up these segments where he says maybe 1 or 2 things and then makes somebody else do the talking. And this was another one of them, which it worked. I like Arn getting fired up, and it made logical sense of like we already knew this was coming, but at the same time, of Arn officially pushing Red Velvet into Brandy's spot with the Cody Shaq match. And this, honestly, if you think about this, this is huge. If you're Red Velvet, you're now in with a major athlete. This is going to get press. This is going to get press outside of the wrestling world. Not that that's a huge deal. It's not going to necessarily pop some gigantic number, but it's certainly going to be something that people know about. And she's in it,
Yeah,
and I thought her promo was good.
Steals Justin's dream girl.
Well, I mean, watching Dark, which is one of the better. Let's not mention
Steel.
I'd be fine with that.
Watching Dark, which is one of the better wrestling shows out there now.
Yeah.
Like you could see a lot of Red Velvet matches. You could see her progress, and like to be fair, she was super green and clunky for a while. And we were talking about how she's getting a spot, and you made the point that she needs to shit or get off the pot. You know, this is where you have to prove yourself. That might be the only chance. And you see this last week on Dark, she had a tremendous match. In fact, a lot of the women had tremendous matches. And I'm not saying like, you know, whatever, like Stardom, you know, 5-star matches or something, but for the talent that's there, all of a sudden something seemed to click for a lot of them, and this fire clicked for Red Velvet. And this promo, I had never seen it in her before, and it was great. And what I really got out of this segment was you have Cody and Arn pretty much giving her the rub of saying, you're gonna do this promo in the ring with us. We're gonna make you legitimate, so step up to that.
And she did. And I thought the promo was great. Here's what worries me.
They gave her the rub in the ring.
Yes, they gave her the rub in the ring. So here's my problem with this, though. She's got to carry Jade in the actual match, who is double her size and green as Kermit the Frog. So
very concerned about the match, and I'm very concerned about Jade being on any kind of live TV.
It's going to be a shenanigans match. There's going to be smoke and mirrors. I think everything's going to be okay.
But see,
Dennis Rodman's going to come in.
What you have going for it, and to get into like what's at risk, like you look at an athlete like Dana Brooke, who's a tremendous athlete, and she knows the business. She's been in it forever, but she's never really trusted on live TV, kind of for a reason. You know, it's difficult. Right. She was great on NXT.
Nia Jax is.
But that's not. No, but like I said, nice things about Dana Brooke that I would never say about Nia Jax. So like Jade has that against her. Like, is she? I don't know. I don't think she's shown that she can execute reliably on live TV. But you have Dustin Rhodes, who's got to be involved, who can help them do the things right, and then you have Cody, who seems to be, you know, the trademark matches with shenanigans. And also like matches that incorporate like 5 to 6 characters in interweaving each other.
But so here's the thing that you have to think about. Shaq, his knees are not going to allow him to do a ton in there. Now, given he gets to stand there and do the towering big man thing, but that also means that Cody, who is clearly the most experienced wrestler in this entire match, can't be the one to hold it up. The real work rate has to come from Jade and Red Velvet. And don't get me wrong, I think Velvet is ready for
what we need.
I just don't know if she's ready to do it with somebody this green. Like if this match was some other performer across the ring, sure, she could hold it up. But literally, he's going to have to protect everyone. It's really on Red Velvet the whole match. But here's there's nothing to lose. There literally is nothing to lose. If it doesn't pay off, Jade was not in some position where she has to get over. Red Velvet is not some star that if this doesn't work or it's sloppy, that it's going to kill the business if the match doesn't come off good. Cody can cover enough with Shaq, and if things go awry, him and Dustin will cover it and make things happen. So literally, she can only stand to gain from it, but still, it's a scary spot to be in.
But I also think
Shaq gets 20 minutes out of a test of strength spot where he tries to do the test of strength, but Cody's too short and he can't reach up there. That's going to be like 10 minutes of the match. You know, he just needs to do old Andre spots and shit.
I have got a solution to the problems.
What's that?
You have Shaq stood in a cage dressed as steel, like RoboCop and Sting.
I have a remedy that'll fix everything is call the whole thing off.
No, see what you're doing is you're getting
make it fast and fun and get it over with, and hopefully everyone comes out looking great.
I mean, I think this is where WWE does they do this sort of thing, right? Where you're not looking for a match out of this, you're looking for moments. You need that Sports Center moment. So you need the face-off of Shaq and Cody and Jade and whoever else AEW is bringing into the match, because they're the big people that are more known in mainstream than in wrestling, you know? So you need that. Maybe one spot where Shaq will, I don't know, press slam. I don't know what he can do. But if he does something to Cody, then that goes on. And then you do a little bit of working, you do a bit of a schmoz, and then whatever Jade could bring in, probably, Ivelisse and Diamante, and come in, and there's a bit of a schmoz there. And then you do your end sequence. I think that's what you do.
Do shenanigans. I agree with you. Speaking of shenanigans, I do want to talk a little bit about Y2MJF, the whatever their tag team is being called now.
Free, proud and powerful. Free.
Oh, hold on.
Proud and powerful.
Why do you have to free
Wow.
them? Because they're both in the same tag team battle royal to get a tag shot.
Well, and look, we know where it's going. We saw the heat between Sammy Guevara and MJF. It's going to cause all of Inner Circle to be ousted from the tag battle royal, and maybe prove a point about this Y2J thing. But here's the thing I love about this. I love that MJF is already wrestling like he's 40 years old. Because it is literally the smart, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't make it bad. He goes out there, he does the right hold spots, he does the facial expressions, he amps up the crowd. The crowd was hotter than anything for this match that had the least amount of wrestling out of all of the wrestling matches on the show. And I officially want to change the name of the Lion Salt to the Hippo Salt or to the come on. No, this was his best
Jabba
one.
Salt.
This was clearly Jericho's best Lion Salt
Jabba the
in
Salt.
AEW. Jabba the Salt
the
would be
Salt.
perfect.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Remember the Ric Flair turnbuckle flip?
Yeah.
Remember watching the Ric Flair turnbuckle flip slowly disintegrate to the point where he wasn't getting all the way up and he was just coming back in the ring and then he would kind of just get
Man, if Jericho tried that turnbuckle would be fucked.
Well,
the last
and then
eventually-
Nitro when he tried it.
Eventually he just didn't. It was like, wow, Rick, stop. Here's my thing about the Lion Salt. He pulled it off this week. It looked really, really good. Don't ever do it again. Like, leave me with that one. Or maybe try it in one more pay-per-view. But the 3 before this one were like the worst piece of crap wrestling moves I've ever seen. Jericho still has every bit of business being in the ring, just not doing that anymore. Pretty please. I don't want to see him falling apart in the ring.
It's scary, and I think last week I feel like the second rope was too loose. I really do.
It was much better this week.
Yeah, you could tell just when he jumped on the rope, it was going to be bad. But he also is doing a thing where I don't know if he is ever going to hurt himself doing it because he is like very physically strong, especially upper body.
And I'm not worried about him hurting himself.
And he
just absolutely crushing or killing somebody with that.
He has his
Hayabusa in himself.
Well, so he does it, but he just basically backflips onto his hands, you know?
Yeah, whatever.
But anyway, it's he's a stubborn, jock or whatever, and that does a lot for him. Like he won't accept failure, which is great.
To be fair, we've had 15 years of the Undertaker. So anything at this point is fine.
So I did get a little bit of a kick that he finished the match with it and looked into the camera and smiled when he did it. Like, I get it.
He knows that's the best one he's done in 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, it's not like he didn't know. Come on. Hangman Page.
Probably got giddy inside.
Not much to say other than the big money Matt thing is an interesting storyline. We talked about last week the beginning, middle, and end of stories. That was the end of the story. This is the beginning of another one. I like what they're doing story-wise with him. I'm actually more interested in Hangman Page now, and I think he's been wrestling great. I think he's looked great recently.
Yeah, he's definitely since he got the long pants and had that one Kenny match. Yeah, he's definitely carrying himself, and he's gotten in shape to be on track, but he still needs a little bit more. But I love the nuance in his character, and I think the longer that they do this, the more.
I don't know if I cared so much about the nuance. I just thought the adding Matt Hardy in there and Matt doing the whole "you can come hang in my locker room because you got no friends" thing was a good touch, especially when we see what he's doing with Private Party.
Well, speaking of fat, you see that new Matt Hardy action figure? Woof.
Like he looks better than that now, but he might not have when they first made that figure.
I mean, I like Matt Hardy a lot, and that's what I say right before I say something bad. And every time you see him get up and he hinges at the hips because he can't bend his knees or something,
that's why weird. This new role is great. Like he can wrestle every now and then if he wants. He can be a good active heel manager, which is great.
But yeah, it is kind of.
You need someone like that in the business, don't you? You need him around the locker room and around.
Yeah,
it is great though to see how well it's working. Where he's going back to that Ring of Honor big money Matt gimmick, icon mat gimmick, and it's actually working. I wasn't sure how it was going to go.
It's working perfectly. I love it, and I think where it goes from here with Hangman, like put him under the Matt Hardy scripted areas, because Matt's writing his stuff, so let him write for Paige, and I think it'll be good. Britt Baker, I thought looked great against Shanna. It's a perfect warm up.
I have something about Shanna.
Really improved her wrestling a lot. Her moveset is actually improved, and she did a lot of mat wrestling, which I think is it gives me hope that this match with Thunder Rosa is actually, going to be good. And we've been calling for this for 6 or 7 months now, and I think that maybe I'm hoping that Britt is ready, because Mel, if Britt sucks, Mel's going to suck right along with her. And if Britt's good, then Mel's going to be great.
I think it's going to be good. Going back to the last Dark, with Britt, she wrestled one of Cody's students who just started wrestling months ago, and she did all right, but she 100% looked like a kid out there, and Britt kind of just dragged her around to a decent match, to decent squash match, but still, right. I think she has it. But what happened on that though, was when she did the spot where she goes against the ropes, and then Reba puts on a glove, she put it on the wrong hand. I think Britt fed her the wrong hand, so she's going for like that Rings of Saturn and has to reach around with the other hand.
Right. She didn't know how to do it from the other side.
Well, she just, because she hooked the arms before I think she realized it was on the wrong
hand.
So, but they played into that on this one. So if you knew, then you saw that they did the spot where like they made sure they put on the right hand, and then she has it on the right hand, and then you go, it's on the right hand, very overt storytelling in the ring. But then Shanna, though, because Aubrey refs the women's matches, I feel like Shanna had a match like 2 weeks ago against someone who was bigger than her, and her Tiger suplex slipped. And so she had to do it a second time, and she wouldn't release the pin after the 3 count. And then the second match, and Aubrey had to like tap her so she would. And then second match, she did the same thing. I don't know if I'm reading too much, but it looked like she took the liberty and didn't release the pin after the second match, and Aubrey stopped her or told her to stop. And Aubrey didn't look happy with her after the match. And then Aubrey wasn't.
Is this the lady who wears the Dragon Ball gear?
No, she's no, Shanna's dope. She's from France, I believe.
Yeah.
But so
I've seen her wrestle. Yeah.
In this one,
she doesn't have a very big moveset, but she's clearly an athlete.
She's she's got a bit of a reputation.
A bit of a reputation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it seems like that. And it seemed like in this match, Aubrey wasn't reffing, and also Britt sort of, roughed her up a little bit. Like
that's what gives me hope for Britt. I feel like Britt knows how to control a ring now, knows how to control a match. And she looked like she was a superstar out there. Like, it doesn't matter who's across the ring from her. And that gives me hope, because clearly Thunder Rosa is like that too. And Thunder Rosa's run-in, I love this week too, because she got to come out in her new kind of chola look that she's doing. Her words, not mine. And that was kind of fun too, because she wasn't in her ring gear. She got to come out street clothes and just throw down a beating and amp up the coming match. And I'm glad that they're giving it a little bit of shine instead of just hot-shotting it onto an episode like they did with Abaddon. That was a travesty.
Oh, I'm still fucking mad.
I am too. That's just stupid. But they almost did that with Britt and Thunder Rosa too, and they cooled it off enough and came back like, no, let's actually put the shine on this thing the way we're supposed to.
That makes me wonder. I would never suggest that Mel was up to anything at all, but it makes me wonder if she didn't want to speak up in the booking, but she knew what the right thing to do was, and so she just kind of.
I mean, she's relatively
have an exposure.
I think Thunder Rosa is relatively a team player. I think she's becoming more of a veteran in knowing her worth to a certain extent, but a lot of where she's created value for herself is just saying yes. Yeah. She is one of those type of performers that any indie that calls up, the answer is yes, unless there's a dual booking. Going across the country, whatever, her full rate, above, below, she just says yes because
you don't even want to know what she was getting paid.
But I just wonder if
she's not like that anymore. She has a clear booking right now.
Oh no, but I remember that
before, even during Lucha Underground, she's on TV every week, and her booking prices were still all over the place from what I heard.
But I just think it's a smart veteran move to find some polite way to get that match with Britt pushed back a couple weeks to the big show. You know what I mean? Like, it was convenient. She had a COVID exposure at the time, you know?
Yeah, she's around. She's out and about a lot, man. I worry about her because she's at shows and she's doing meet and greets and she's doing a lot of stuff. She's officially a Texan now, though, so I can't say it's entirely surprising.
But just to be clear, I'm saying,
but
like,
be careful, Thunder Rosa. Don't blow your big shot here.
If there was a wink there to get AEW to postpone it to a much bigger show, I would think that was really smart and really cool.
Look,
but allegedly.
Last AEW thing I want to talk about real quick, because I want to move on to a couple of WWE things before we talk Lucha Underground. The tag champs, all the tag champs from all of the non-WWE promotions versus the Dark Order. I got to tell you, Stu Grayson looked friggin' great, and John Silver cleaning house and suplexing somebody from the mat. Like, just what a fire plug that dude is. Ridiculously incredible. Like, everything about the match was them. Look, you can't beat the Nick Jackson super kick party and the crazy escalator to the floor and all that stuff. But, you know, I felt bad for the Good Brothers in this match. I will just say that. Because I don't dislike them as a tag team, but man, a magic killer compared to everything that, you know, was done by everybody else in the match was just like, why are you guys here? You guys clearly are the Impact champs. Go back over there.
Yeah. But they're also, the big LG is bigger than everyone else for sure. Machine Gun is awesome, but he definitely fits in size-wise and doesn't stand out as much. But yeah, that's such a great thing that the Dark Order, they have been really tremendous workers, and so they can keep it up when they get in the ring, and then Silver can do that thing where he just sprints special moves on everyone in like 5 different spots in the ring.
They're crisp too, which is amazing to me. But you know what I think? I honestly think that Alex Reynolds should take a back seat, and this is one of the things I wish AEW would be cool enough to do. Anna Jay should be the 4th member of the tag team when they do a 4-member tag like that. And everyone else should be guys. Like, don't even think about it. Don't even mention that there's a girl in the match. Just put her in there.
Yeah, they refuse.
I know, but it's stupid because honestly, I think she would be a better addition to a match like that than Alex Reynolds was.
But what's fucked up is on the cruise they did an intergender tag and they just never showed it.
Yeah, I think that's a network Tony thing, you know, which is whatever. But Anna Jay and Ty Conti are also, speaking of the woman talent, like really improving. They're legit, you know.
Ty needs to just learn how to run the ropes better. I haven't seen.
She got better this week. I'm not saying great, but she got better.
I for where Anna Jay should be at, I haven't really seen any flaws in her game. They need to get her a little more character, some more matches, and she's fine. She could compete in WWE tomorrow with those girls. I mean, she needs more of a bigger move set, but
yeah, I would hold the sleeper or the choke a little snugger.
Maybe,
but you know,
she'll have somebody wriggle out of it at the wrong time, and she'll learn that lesson pretty quickly. All right, I want to talk NXT for a sec.
Sure, this will be quick.
Got to. The first hour of the show, I refuse to even talk about because it was dreadful. There was nothing there.
I have something to say about that. Spud is such a tremendous talent, and he gets those moments when he does stuff that matters. And you're like, this guy's among the best in the business today at cutting a promo and working a match with emotion.
Yeah,
that matters.
2 weeks ago.
But he has a tendency to either be booked or to book himself into bathroom break comedy.
Yeah. Which,
it's unfortunate.
It's stupid. You know, and even the Scarlet Tarot card reading thing, which was in the first half of the show, was interesting and it was a decent setup, but it didn't do a lot for me. The way it was shot, I didn't like how they kept coming in too close to her face and they couldn't hold the camera steady. It was the wrong style, I thought, for that content. I don't know if her and Cross shot it. Maybe Cross was the cameraman. Maybe I'm dissing Cross right now and I should stop.
It did look like that first.
So I'm earlier on the list.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go down not going down a road, but it did look like the that first, like, the end is near promo they did.
Yeah. which they did themselves. So I loved the Loomis creeping up on Theory and Gargano and that whole thing. Loomis was not on last week, I don't think. We were going to talk about Dexter Loomis and his career before this, but he hasn't been on yet. So I was going to wait for a time when he was showing out in a match, and we'll talk a little more about Dexter Loomis, because I'm a big fan of the character, and I was very happy to see that surprise moment at the end of that match, the way he creeped in and all quiet. And I think the whole Dexter Loomis thing is working, and I think the rest of that feud was going nowhere. Kushida and Ruff, we're going to go on to their other stuff now, but Leon Ruff looked good. So the end is near, as Santos says. He's helping put over Cross here, and Cross gets one of Scarlett's tarot cards, or Santos gets one of Scarlett's tarot cards. The Hierophant, which is an interesting card, because upright, if you have the card facing the regular way, it stands for like tradition and education and religion, and it has the keys to heaven at its feet in the card. If you know anything about tarot, and this used to be a thing I was into in college. You know?
I'm following. I get it.
Wiccan chicks were super hot in college. That's all I can say.
I have a book about that. Never mind.
Yeah, you should find it, because it's probably still more valuable than you realize. Anyway, but in reverse, this particular card represents bad advice and abuse of power, and someone who is in need of learning a lesson. So I thought it was interesting that they picked this card. It was probably Cross that did it, because he knows his stuff when it comes to the occult and weird things like that, because he finds it interesting. This is a perfect card for Escobar. I saw that he was wearing the cross and whatever. And technically, according to WWE rules, both of these guys are heels right now.
Yeah.
So you've got this kind of like, which is the worst heel? You know, the religious.
I don't know if Cross is really a heel. He's all the way heel, but Cross is kind of tweener.
He's that Brock Lesnar heel. You know.
I think he should stay that way too, and they shouldn't try to make him so much of a bad guy. But they were really, Wade Barrett was really healing him out last week a lot. So I don't know if Wade got the memo or not. But yeah, I feel like in this particular feud with Santos and Cross, that Cross is the more face or technico in this, and Santos is the heel. But where is this going? Because they can't fight for Santos's belt. Is this just a way to keep the belt on Santos longer? It also, to me,
I think it's going to be a longer. I think it's going to be a longer playing storyline. I don't think it's necessarily something that's going to come.
Do you think Santos is going to? You think Santos is losing a belt in like 2 or 3 big shows, and then Cross will slip in?
No, I think, well, here, if it's a longer story, what will happen is he will lose to Cross now, but Cross won't be able to take his belt. And then Santos will go back into some cruiserweight programs and whatnot. And then whenever he loses his belt in those cruiserweight programs, then the Cross feud will matter. And by then, Cross will probably be holding a bigger belt that maybe he could drop to Santos. That's probably the long-term way of going. And that's kind of the way I see that this is playing out, because while Santos is holding the cruiserweight belt, a feud with Cross doesn't behoove him in any fashion. It doesn't make any sense to me. That belt. And honestly, it's stupid in general, because I feel like it takes the shine off that belt. And I feel like Santos has done a great job of actually making that belt important. Yeah. But it made him a boss by fighting.
I think they've been quite good with the wording though that he's done, because it's when he came out and cut that promo last week, it was more the fact of going, I can do this, and I can step into your world, kind of, because he could easily, there's no weight determination on the other 2 belts, right? But it's a case of, and let's be honest, he's a big 205.
Yeah, but do you feel like they would let Santos go so far as to keep the cruiserweight belt and hold either the North American or the main title at the same time? Would they ever do that? I don't think they would.
No. See, I think have to drop it before going to thing. But I think, if anything, it's kind of like the wording he used means it's. I've lost my point.
I mean,
I think on the wording.
Yeah. I think
it's just all about the wording.
I think convention says, what you guys are saying, that no, you don't mix that up. But what excites me the most about it is that, every once in a while you'll have a guy who's like the big fish in a small pond. You'll have a guy who's like the big lightweight champ, and he goes up to the heavyweight and he's like, I can kick your ass. And they do that angle, and it's fun, like the TNA X Division stuff.
That makes sense to me if Cross already has the belt. If Cross already has a belt, but I think he's a ways
champion
off.
versus champion.
But he's kind of doing that as with inferring Cross is like the uncrowned champ,
right? And that's fine. But that also means that if he goes up, he's not going to beat.
But I also think they know each other, can work a solid program, and so that gives me a little bit of faith in just following whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, they're probably asking for the program, would be my guess.
Yeah, and the other thing is, for me, like I said, I remember my point about the wording was he was like just going, "I'm the champion of champions," as in, look how are you for actually, being a champion and done well with it. Whereas you guys are kind of just having matches every 3 months or getting injured after a match,
right?
Whereas I'm actually, defending my title and working. So I think that's where it's clever, and it doesn't necessarily like have to play out so quickly. But it's like a shot across the board. It's like that kind of thing of being like,
if nothing else, it's actually
Intercontinental champion and having a go at the WWE champion.
It's actually interesting. If nothing else, it's interesting. So
also, what they need to do with Scarlett is they need to get her into a like snow-driven woodland in a hut, and she needs to go down the full route of being a seer.
Yeah, some kind of seer. Witch,
yeah. A Volca?
I agree. They need to make her part of this a little more relevant with a couple of pieces.
Playing with a loom of blood.
Speaking of former Lucha Underground talent, though, I want to mention Swerve against Colossal Bronson Reed, the human kaiju.
Yeah.
There was a move that was super duper dope where Bronson throws Swerve over the rope and he handsprings off the apron and lands on his feet. It's just super duper dope. And I'm like, damn, I've never seen Swerve do this. And sure enough, in the Lucha Underground episode that we're about to talk about, he does it too. And I never remembered having seen that before. But anyway, I thought it was super duper dope. And I hate Swerve's grills.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's. I understand why someone somewhere has booked it like that, but
I think he did. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like I thought it was a good match. I thought they both really got to, go out and put on a good show. But this also seems like one of those gimmicks where they want Swerve to be noticeable and distinct on TV, but he's not going to win. So he's not going to give them the new A gimmick he's been coming up with. But he's going to be like, I'll stand out. I could be sort of this, but like I'm not losing any of my good ideas to 3 months of jobbing.
Right. I don't know. It's weird. I still don't know what they're going to do with Swerve, but I just hope they take all that metal out of his face. Look, we'll be right back. We're going to talk about an episode of Lucha Underground where things are starting to heat up before the first Ultima Lucha. So we'll be right back after this with the Lucha Underground Rewind.
Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you Lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Conan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
Are you taking a picture or what are we doing?
I took a picture and now I'm disappointed in the actions of some people.
Great.
All of us.
So we're back, and we're back. Can I do that thing now, Byron? Can I do that thing?
Now every time you're saying and we're back, and then you're asking if you could say it. Now you're just making it worse.
Well, but you said that I wasn't supposed to say it, but I like saying, and we're back.
But now you're saying it every time, and you add it
to my new microphone. I got it. I got this thing now.
Who'd you steal that from?
Oh, got it. It was on sale.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Or did you? Are you?
No, it was really on sale. So I go.
Whoa, Byron! What are you suggesting?
We're back.
Jesus Christ!
Now I wonder if I should have a different microphone.
I don't know. You sound pretty good. I just
You
was
like
having
Michael
issue-
Bublé?
See, you're also using a different preamp than I was using. I was using a thing that I think is not working right anymore. So it's time to upgrade pieces of the puzzle. So I did this because it's easy and I can throw it in a suitcase and I can be wherever and I can say, and we're back.
Yeah, I think I need that
Hey!
instead of bringing my Zoom everywhere.
My name's
That's
Paulie.
bullshit. My name is Paul E. Dangerously.
We should leave the impressions up to Casey.
Yeah.
Talk about that thing that's going on back there.
My talent.
Well,
Oops, in the
excuse
locker
me,
room.
sir. What is behind you right now is a ludicrous ripoff of Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Oh, hell no, you didn't, Paulie. Hold on.
Because in ECW, the owners were doing a little choo-choo way before Dario Cueto. Allegedly. Don't sue us. This is for parody purposes only.
Beat me if you can.
Survive if I let you.
Oh, he doesn't say that.
Well, you know.
Listen, Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 36, the beginning of the end. See, they knew the writing was on the wall all the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the end of me wanting to do this podcast anymore.
Eric Van Wagenen was probably coming from a meeting over at Univision or something when they came up with the name of this episode. Anyway, vignette number 1, as you kind of were saying back there, Dario and Penta, he considers giving Penta an Aztec medallion, to which Penta cuts a fire promo of, look, dude, if I wanted your freaking medallion, I would just break your arms and take it, or my master would break your arms and take it. Like, I don't need you to give me some stupid medallion. And I want to come in here and talk to you about a friggin' medallion. That's what I'm going to do. Until then, piss off. I want to kill Ian Hodgkinson.
It's so
Sounds like
funny.
Schwarzenegger when he says it. It's the best.
He's so bad at saying that name.
I want to kill Ian Hodgkinson.
My favorite thing is that he says it like 3 different ways in the same episode.
Oh,
It's like
Hodgkinson.
it's like when you know someone who doesn't speak Spanish, but when they say like
You.
Byron,
quesadilla,
say Death Triangle again.
but when they say quesadilla, they
El
throw on like
Triangulo de
an
Culo.
attempt at a Spanish accent.
That's Byron would
Like
say.
Or
that.
as Byron calls them quesadillas.
Quesadilla.
Quesadillas dos
delicious.
Muertos.
Look, he's American and he's still been eating salmon for years, which is still.
I love salmon.
Oh, salmon pink.
Well, how do you cook salmon?
Oh my God, you said salmon.
How do you cook it?
You know how to finally say it? Yeah,
Five,
How do you cook it?
four,
You take it, you take it, and you put it in the trash.
salmon.
oh, stop. You
Where it
put on-
belongs.
You eat it raw as sushi.
Yeah.
I like sushi.
Our buddy James, friend of the show, he likes it as sashimi.
What? How do you do it, Justin? How do you cook it up?
Well, I either eat it as sashimi. I'm a huge fan of Philly rolls. You know, ECW Philly rolls,
Yeah.
baby cream.
But if you're gonna
salmon.
cook it,
Uh,
I'll ask you.
Excuse me, sir. Philly rolls is what we used to call the Blue Meanie backstage, and sometimes Tommy Dreamer a little later on.
oh dear Lord. No, Byron, I'll put it on a like, look, the simplest way. Slap it on a George Foreman grill, hit it with some Mrs. Dash, maybe a little Old Bay, a little touch of dill, maybe some salt, be
A
done
little
with
bit
it.
of Philly rolls is why Tommy Dreamer had to wrestle in a shirt.
Grill it up, or you bake it. You know, you do a little dill
Steamed,
bake.
poached.
No, poached salmon,
Poached?
not good. Hate it.
Ew, no. You might
We
as well
sell it
just
at work.
shit down. Yeah, he's giving us British food again. Can we get him removed from
Yeah.
that book?
Yeah.
set?
And if I'm
Here's my-
cooking it, I like it to be a full flake on the fish. I don't like it to be gummy in the middle. Like
right.
it's
Skin
not like
on.
tuna. I'm either eating it full cooked or I'm eating it raw.
But if you
I
get
gotta
it,
tell you though, if it's cooked from the King Fish House in San Diego, I hope that place still exists because it's amazing. I would eat some salmon from there.
I believe
I-
it's
but so
Dude,
what
they had
so-
coconut encrusted mahi that was the greatest
Oh.
fish dish I've ever had in my life.
that sounds great.
sounds great.
What I do is like, yeah, I'll salt and pepper season up the sides and like really pat it on, and then I'll throw it on the
Dip in some
on
ketchup.
my pan for like 3 minutes.
You like to do a
Aside?
pan?
Yeah,
I'm
pan like
surprised
2 or
you
3
don't
minutes
like- like
aside.
some oregano on it because Byron puts oregano on everything.
You can put oregano and eggs. It's pretty good. But what I'm really liking doing is paprika and eggs.
Yeah, paprika.
Yeah, remember when you put some oregano on my huevos, Byron, so they would taste better?
See, everyone wonders why this show is so long. Literally, the episode that we're talking about is on behind us, and they're 10 minutes ahead of us than we are. I can't even believe this right now.
And so
cannot
basically,
accept for jokes like that and expect me to not say them.
I don't stop it from happening. I just find it hilarious that every time we get all these complaints, you guys are like, "Oh, our show's so long. How long do we have to do this on Saturday?" And then people are watching it and they're like, "Oh, why is your show so long?" But then they love all that stuff, and then you guys do all that stuff, and then we're here for 4 hours and it's fine. I don't.
So if Byron,
do you have Pollock out there?
I'd get all these jokes out of my system then, and the show would be shorter.
Do you get Pollock out there?
Pollock? Yes.
Okay.
We wouldn't call it Pollock. We would call it Pollock.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah, no, you can't say that.
Pollock.
Hey, how do you get
Pollock? Me, Pollock.
Hey, how do you get a one-armed Pollock out of a tree?
Pollock.
Whoa.
It's Pollock. The fish is Pollock.
How do you get a one-armed Pollock out of a tree?
Edit yourself off of the show, please.
So there was an episode of Lucha Underground. You can see it. It's there.
So here's the gist
King Chrono won in a really good match.
Just go on TV and watch it.
Here's the gist of this episode. To me, is basically everyone who's a fan of the Lucha Brothers that they've seen on AEW Impact Now in Independence in North America. Watch Pentagon's two promo segments here. Right. This is who we all fell in love with, and this is what he should be doing. He should be walking around like he will seriously murder anyone around him, and it'll be really awesome, and you'll want to cheer him for it.
But see, him just being murdery isn't enough. These promos really did help, and people don't understand. Like, look, even though they were in Spanish, even if you didn't understand them, who cares? These are fire promos, and the little bit of Spanish I do, I know what he's saying.
Come on. Here's by the way, wall of shame for the subtitles translator person.
Oh no,
right? They miss all the best words.
They purposely do not translate any of the bad language. And it's like Pentagon is saying your mother fucks a horny duck or something, and the translation is I like what your mother makes for dinner. Like they never translate him or Tejano for that matter.
The Peking duck from your mother's restaurant was very fine last night.
Yeah, and Pinta is not clearly saying that.
Peking duck is delicious.
Listen, Bengala versus
Cantonese style.
I'm going to talk about this actual episode, Bengala versus Davari with Big Rick for
Is he a tiger?
One. He's a Bengala. He's a Bengal tiger.
Oh, I thought
it's a white tiger.
I thought he was a little cute panda doll.
No, he's Bengala.
Ricky Marvin.
That fucking fat.
Anyway, this was great because this was the first time that you could audibly hear all of the full glory of the golden shower chants at Davari.
Yes. Yeah. Because
mostly thanks to Casey.
A pin can drop when Bengala was wrestling. I love Bengala, but he did not show up in wrestling shape in Lucha Underground, and very quickly was released because of this. And I don't know though, but I think I got like a picture with Bengala this day, and I posted on the internet, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, Bengala's in Lucha Underground," and I'm like, "Whoops,
my bad."
I think I got this mask. I'm not sure.
Now I do like
the one that got golden showered on. Sorry about your luck.
Sorry about your luck.
Anyway, the crowd completely dies very early on in this match. A, because it's Davari, and B, because, as Casey mentioned, Bengala was not the Bengala that we knew and loved at this point in his career.
And I love Ricky Marvin. I think he's one of the greatest workers that's ever been involved in Lucha Libre, and he just
tiny head.
He ate himself out of this role. Literally, there's a new Bengala. Yeah,
but Bengala does get
Supernova. And then they changed again. There's a third Bengala.
Taboo. La Parca's brother. Right?
No.
I don't think it is for some reason. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Look, I can't remember. Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I was happy at the time that Bengala got the win, hoping that when he showed back up, it would be a little bit better than this, but the crowd was dead. There was a reason for it. Wasn't a great match.
And it was that schmoz finish that was just terrible. Like,
yeah, it was the big rig schmoz. It was stupid, but whatever. I mean, Davari wasn't going to go over, let himself gone over on without some kind of nonsense. Then we get the Vampiro promo where, of course, he says, "My time has come and gone." Penta fires him up. You get the dueling chants. Stop crying. Crowd is totally hot. awesome promo.
Yeah,
and then, of
let's talk
course,
about that hot crowd, Justin.
yeah, what? Because you were in it.
Yeah, a bunch of turncoats cheering for Vampiro at the end. I want you to close up on that shot, though, that's got Vampiro with his back to the crowd, because you can see me in the background, Cero Mietoing like a motherfucker, which is in the freeze frame that they use for publicity for the match, too. Even more prominently, I was proud of myself.
Now, thankfully, I was not there. The part of Outlaw was played by J Ray on this particular day. I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have, in fact, been cheering for Vampiro. I would love to lie and say that I wouldn't have, but I would have.
We know your opinions are terrible. Woo, we don't like Sting. Woo.
I was always a Vampiro fan.
Sting,
I was always a Vampiro fan.
Sting would have been so great in the
Sting is not a fan of
to cheer against Pentagon. Even the great Minoru Suzuki cannot get me to cheer against Pentagon.
What about Sid?
Wow.
Even Sid. Even Terry Funk.
Oh. Oh my God, do you imagine what Terry Funk versus Pentagon Jr. would have been like? Oh.
I don't know what this Cero Miedo shit is, but I'm just an old man. And they call me middle-aged and crazy, Byron.
Okay.
Do you reckon he'd take that match now? Well, he would, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. Terry Funk would take that match.
And honestly, with Pentagon belt, that'd be a pretty even match these days.
Pentagon's very good man that would go down into the spinning toe hole very nicely. Forever. Forever.
Vampiro does disappoint the whole crowd by telling the whole crowd that Pentagon will not, in fact, be facing Ian Hutchinson at Ultima Lucha, but to everyone's joy, he'll be facing Vampiro. So hopefully now we don't have to ever hear Pentagon say Ian Hutchinson again.
Okay, first of all, I would pay for a whole episode of him just saying Ian Hodgkinson over and over again.
We know what to get you for Christmas.
Yes, if he has a cameo, get him to call me, but tell him my name is Ian Hodgkinson.
I'm just going through that in my mind is amazing. I'm going to absolutely try to make that happen now because it's so worth it.
And then we can send it to Vampiro and pretend we're really nice.
Anyway, vignette number 2 is Sexy Star in the locker room doing Sexy Star things with Superfly's mask.
Okay,
you guys might worry about the mask.
We've recapped that they were friends and she was forced to take his mask. What kind of asshole keeps the mask in their bag then?
Yeah,
look,
sniff it.
I never thought I'd be mad about a scene that has a camera in the ladies' locker room, but at this particular juncture, this was the worst. But I do think that she was rubbing one out onto the mask itself, and then she was going to pass it off to Drago whenever he came in to recharge, because that's what you do with that mask.
Gross. Also, this was the man that won Super Colo's mask, and let me tell you, he probably put that in a nice trophy case in his house, you know. Yeah. He didn't just keep it in a bag and carry it around. We'll talk about Sexy Star later.
I just don't get why they're doing another match, because they had the match. They're like, I have a beef, and okay, so let's fight. And then Superfly beat the fuck out of her and won, and then beat her up some more, and then he was done with her. So why?
Third match, Byron.
We'll find out. So King Cuerno versus Killshot Medallion number 2 is up next before we get to more Sexy Star.
Yeah, but you know, no one on the show likes either of these wrestlers, so there's nothing to be said about this match.
You're right. Moving on.
It was a really good match with the
for new school wrestling fans. I guess we're actually to the point now where we have to tell you that Swerve versus Santos Escobar is basically what this match is.
Kayfabe?
Swerve versus Santos Escobar.
Although you don't get the amazing Poison Rana, which Phantasma did in this one.
Yeah.
Every time I see a reverse Rana, I yell Poison Rana.
Yeah.
Every time I see a reverse Rana, I get mad about how at PWG there were like 200 of them because Bailey and Sasha Banks just did one the night before.
Oh my God.
Remember?
Yeah. No, a bowl of 15, every match had a Poison Rana.
Yeah. Can I just say that Damian Priest wishes he could fire an imaginary arrow like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate? No, it actually looked good, and it just made me think immediately of Damian Priest and like how not good his version of this is, and how they're in the same show these days. And like,
I'm not going to pretend I even know who Damian Priest is.
Smart. You're better off for it at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, this surfboard submission choke thing, the tapitia. Yeah. That was
Rayo de
awesome.
Jalisco.
Why is this just now being used?
That's one way to say it, Neef.
I'm not even going to try.
Jalisco
senior and junior.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, sometimes. Depends on how much Dad likes the sun. There's the whole thing, yeah. Sometimes he's just Rayman.
Although,
just Rayman.
Aren't they both dead? No.
I like the move. I thought it looked great here. I don't know that we saw Cuerno, HDF, Santos, whatever you want to call him, do this much after this. I think this might be the only time.
He did use it the other week.
Because he proceeded to break his back on a ladder spot gone wrong.
Right. But this is, the Killshot Cuerno feud was always good. This was another solid match. And like I previously mentioned, Killshot actually does the thing this time without being thrown, where he dives over the ring rope, hand plants, and then goes into a Rana, which I thought was.
And I want to point out that the listeners of the show, Justin was being a dick about us taking long to the show, and literally Cuerno's in the ring right now behind him. We are synced with the show.
Yeah, there we go. I love it.
So now we need to talk about some food for the next 7 minutes.
No, we're gonna move.
Dude, don't you guys love potatoes?
No, we're gonna move on to the premiere
match.
The premiere match of this show: Superstar or Superfly, Sexy Star, Superfly Star, Sexy.
Okay, first of
Sexy Star versus Superfly.
Can I rant and be
for medallion number 3? By the way, these are all medallion matches.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rant. I'm gonna be a real asshole here, and I'm gonna say, no matter what I say, Krista Joseph, I still love you. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Look, if you had a wrestler on your roster so fucking bad, I'm just gonna say this, so fucking bad that not only could someone that is a good worker get a good match out of them, but get a match so bad that you throw it out of television and retape it, costing the production more money because they have to pay everyone to retape the match. Are you going to keep protecting and pushing that person? Hey, let's give them the championship in a fucking season. How about that?
Wait, so you're saying that what we saw
he did come from WWE, so
you're saying that what we saw on television wasn't the match that was first done here?
No, okay. They did a competitive match between Superfly and Sexy Star, which I actually didn't think was that bad. And any suckage I would attribute to Sexy Star no matter what. But what really sucks is Superfly came in that weekend with a sprained neck and like a broken nose. He was recovering from some injuries, but he decided to tough it out, wrestle some matches. He wrestled Sexy Star. They cut it. The next day, they had him lose in 2 seconds and then did a match with the Moth instead.
Yes.
Kind of shitty. Yeah. And then we never saw Superfly again.
That was it. That was the end of the rubber match for his mask in America.
Which sucks because I like Superfly. Like I thought
he had a couple of good matches along this run too. I mean, they weren't all Sexy Star versus Superfly.
This is something I'd really like to listen to the Who Ya Say podcast so that I could hear what if Marco asked him about it, because he was on that podcast.
Yeah.
What also I think was super offensive about all of this was Sexy Star was in that submission match with Pentagon and lost, and every time she put a submission on, it looked bad. And commentary said, I don't think she's going to even be able to win a match because she can't throw an accurate submission. And then this week, without improving, she gets 2 flash submissions on an armbar that probably hurts less than being tickled.
Yeah, I mean, that sucked. I like the setup with Marty coming in and saying, look, that's my family's medallion. I thought that was an interesting thing for the storyline, because at this point, we hadn't really thought about the medallions representing tribes until this moment, which was pretty cool. And then, of course, he jobs to Sexy. And he tried his hardest to make her look good for a minute or two there, and it was really kind of impossible. So more power to him for just doing the job and getting the hell out of there.
Hey, he's not cheerleader Melissa, you know what I'm saying?
But he played it smart. He got a lot of crowd interaction. He did the figure 4 thing, which is a good way to slow things down. And the crowd actually came to life, even though there was absolutely almost no wrestling in this match. And it was all because of, just the way he was playing the psychology, which is all you can do in a match with Sexy Star.
We were cheering for Marty the whole time.
Yeah.
Or
now
you can try and murder her like Big Rick.
So I'm just going to get off of it because it did kind of tick me off. Everybody I liked here lost and just put Sexy Star over, and she's got
We'll just end it with fuck Sexy Star.
Yeah.
The end.
So
I have none. Are we done with Lucha Underground? I have
no,
one thing I want to talk about.
No, I'm not done with Lucha Underground. We still have 2 or 3 huge things. Huge things, Byron.
All right, sorry.
First of all,
channeling Casey right now.
Luis Fernandez Gil deserves all the credit in the world because this was the first promo where he got a chant and a pop when he came out without people disliking him. Like genuinely, the crowd was like, "This is our guy now."
Oh, the giant El Jefe chant.
He got a huge El Jefe chant. This was the first time where he learned the pacing right to stop the what chants. Because people don't realize it was getting edited for TV. Yeah. And
he shut down the what chants in person.
Yeah. And as an actor and whoever he was listening to in the back, he finally learned how to control the crowd. And this is really the beginning of where you see, this is what I consider from here on out, the real Dario. Mm-hmm. When Luis finally stepped into the role the right way, he was our Jefe. We all loved him. And this promo was kind of the moment that did it. And he figured out the pacing. He's an actor. He figured it out finally. So then we get this face off with Puma and Mil Muertes. Dario tries to get Katrina not to come down because it's just supposed to be these guys. Disciples come in with a coffin. Puma starts swinging. Conan comes in for the cane save. Mil blocks it, bludgeons Conan. Puma gets the straight right hand from Katrina or Mil or somebody. Then Katrina hits Conan with the rock, and then Conan is dead. Conan gets pushed into the coffin, rolled out to the side, dumped in the parking lot. They threw a couple of dollars at him for cab fare. I think, what is the story behind this? Why is Conan in a coffin, Casey?
Wow.
Damn it. Hold on. They need Puma to be at a disadvantage for the next match, which happens even more on the next episode when we get to see Mil Muertes wear a suit, get all the women in the audience pregnant, and then Puma tries to talk on the microphone.
I was about to say, do they give him a microphone?
It's going to be great.
We're already doing next week's episode.
Because it's great. I can't wait.
Because I'm
from Kentucky.
Sorry, that was the arrow from the depths of hell back there. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
I think he caved in the dude's chest.
Look at all those marks clapping, cheering. Casey in the back. Yeah. It's as you know from hearing Conan on this show, Conan was absolutely over Lucha Underground by this point in time. It was time to push the Puma character in another.
Seems familiar.
Puma was it was time to push Puma in a different direction where he still didn't talk. Some things needed to happen. And of course, anytime that you can prolong Katrina walking down to the ring is not a bad thing for ratings. Woo! Yeah.
You guys never say that when like Chavo's coming in the ring. Fucking sexist.
Well, Byron does when he's coming in his ring.
I say bad to say about Chavo.
Ooh, Chavito.
No, Neve said coming in his ring, not coming to the ring, and I appreciate that.
Nice O-ring. All right, Byron, what did you have? Because that's it for this segment. That's our Lucha Underground rewind.
Come and stay in the mix.
No, we still have another segment. Come back after.
We still have another hour to go.
But I do want to say I was surprised. In New Japan, John Moxley came back and surprised on New Japan Strong and jumped Kenta. And Kenta was stoked to finally have John Moxley there. And it looks like they're getting closer and closer to their title match for the New Japan IWGP United States Championship.
That would be nice.
So I'm very excited. I always I like John Moxley in AEW.
What?
But I think his New Japan stuff is just absolutely way better. You know.
What?
So I'm very, very excited to see that. It's a bummer that he's going to wear the AEW camo pants still. I'd rather him wear the short shorts, show off the quads.
I bet.
What?
But yeah, I mean, Death Rider John Moxley is my favorite.
To see the outline of his dick.
Right. So
look, Byron, you've always got Cage. Cage is still in AEW. Don't worry, man. You'll get plenty.
No, he doesn't wear those shorts in AEW though. You know, he's got the orange and black colors. They hide the outline.
Yeah, Taz took care of that right away. He doesn't wear the
I'm
baby
have to
blues.
tweet him and just say, look, my friend Byron is really missing the outline.
Like,
of your
hey,
dick.
Melissa Santos
black with orange.
Melissa Santos needs to share that.
Black.
Melissa Santos did I think she tweeted or said something somewhere that those baby blue tights were her favorites, and obviously we know why. But anyway, so I was super stoked. I'm still watching. I'm still getting through the New Beginning New Japan show, but New Japan had a great show, and people care about New Japan. It's great, and it's probably better than Lucha Libre, so yeah, I mean.
Look,
they bring CML.
Anyway, right, so you talked about New Japan this week. That means next week we should talk about Impact or maybe MLW. Which one?
What's there? I mean, we could talk about the Tony Khan commercials on Impact, which are great.
Oh my God, that was so great this week. Except it exposed the fact that this week's Dynamite was not going to be very good to me. It did. Like, it was like you're promoting stuff that sounds worse than what's on Impact right now. This isn't working for me this week. But it was so funny. Tony's great. Anyway, we'll talk about that because, you know, I always like to talk about Chris Bay, and I think that Saban deserves a lot of credit right now, and I'm actually liking what they're doing with Zach Cardona,
Saban Jr.,
Matt Cardona, and a few other things over there. So maybe we'll talk about that. I still need to. Where the hell do you watch MLW anymore? I don't even know how. I don't even get it on my channel.
I think it's like YouTube or Twitch.
It's on Fight TV. Also.
Fight TV.
Watch it there. Yeah,
Okay.
Gotta watch MLW. I haven't made time for it, and I feel bad for that. But there's a lot of good people doing great stuff. Mil Mortis is there. Okay, is there?
All the things in my life I feel bad about not watching wrestling.
Not one of them. Not one of them.
No, I want to support MLW, and I want to give a shout out.
Did you ask me to watch Psycho Gorman yet? Because you need to see all of you.
It's in my queue.
I'm going to, man.
Look, I had 6 seasons of Vikings to watch. All right.
Oh, great show!
Oh yeah,
you've seen where Ragnar Lodbrok ends up.
Supremacist by next
week. You know, that's where I'm from, Justin.
From Ragnar Lodbrok's loins.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna hit.
What of any of us here?
Well, I just have to say this. You know that woman that plays his wife, right? A, she's a legit black belt. Yeah, and B, she's like my age. Oh, it's amazing how she looks like she's 31 at most, and she's like 44 years old.
57.
You're only 44.
I'm older than
the
that.
The Boneless is the best character.
Yeah, Ivar the Boneless, he's great. Yeah. They all are. It's a good show. Floki.
You need to play. Anyway. You now need a Valhalla Assassin's Creed in your life, though, because that is fantastic.
Hey, Byron, you know who was fucking cool? The Berserker.
The Berserker was great.
Listen, some of these guys are going to go watch WandaVision and
Would you like to
Vikings.
make some fuck Berserker?
Would you like to Berserker? Anyway, I'm
going to
go watch.
Guys, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Sing the Berserker song for like 5 seconds.
Would you like to
suck my cock, Berserker?
For you is ticking clock, Berserker.
Would you like some making Berserker?
Great, we have the intro.
Why are we doing this? Okay, great. Thanks. Okay,
Chewbacca.
Listen, I'm gonna go watch Royal Rumble. I'll be back shortly with my take on that show and any news that came out of it. So
Saturday.
Saturday
show.
All right, Saturday. That's
I'll be
right.
back.
All right.
We'll be back.
God, I can't.
He won't be back.
So we're done with the show, right?
Oh, we had
Wait, Pentagon really has a cameo, and you guys didn't have him wish me a happy new year, you fucking assholes.
I was going to get one for your birthday, but I got told it was $40 and I didn't want to pay it.
If you're listening to this and you haven't visited luchacentral.com, it's time to do it. LuchaCentral.com is the online home for Lucha Libre, where you can get all of the top news in English and in Spanish. Find the best curated video content and original content not seen anywhere else. Find when Lucha Libre events would be happening in your area. Find photo galleries from top photographers covering Lucha Libre around the world. From weekly polls to annual awards. Seen and read by top executives in all of the major Lucha Libre promotions across the globe. And on top of that, it's free. LuchaCentral.com, your centralized place for all things Lucha Libre.
You ready, Byron?
I'm trying. Billy won't face the camera.
And we're back. Well, Billy has joined us in place of Casey. And of course, we've all changed clothes because it's not the same day, but we all have watched Royal Rumble now. So we thought we'd bring you guys some info. Say hi, Billy.
Wow.
Say something. You always say stuff. And
I
Billy
mauls Byron.
I think
Eats Byron's
Billy
face off.
does. Billy have more followers on Instagram than I do, Byron. I think Billy
she
does.
She has more engagement, and engagement numbers, as we all know, are
Those are real numbers. All right. Well,
But she's a cat.
Overall, I'm going to start with the grade for Royal Rumble. I am giving this a solid B.
Okay.
A solid B. And I have reasons for that, but what are you guys, what are your grades for this thing?
I'm at C plus to B.
That's good for Meatloaf, guys.
yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
good for me. If I don't have any problem, C plus for Meatloaf on any WWE event that does not include Santos Escobar is a really, really high number. In fact, included almost zero Lucha Libre whatsoever, except for a little bit of Ray and Dom.
Why is Meat so cheery this morning?
Because
But
it's not
it's
the morning
6
there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's 6 p.m.
Okay.
So
Hey,
I'm actually awake.
So it's like a great time.
Normally, guys, when you see Meatloaf, it's like 4 a.m. for him. Byron, what do you rate this thing?
I give it about a C plus B. You know, the thing is, the by the time I got to the men's Royal Rumble, the camera work and the
Oh god,
was making me motion sick. So I just was on my phone listening to what happened.
Okay.
Like I literally get motion sick from it.
Dude, there's a few
Kevin
weird things.
Dunn cutting every 3 seconds.
First of all, the quick edits were too much. And there were things in wide shots that just like the wide shot is almost non-existent in WWE, the hard cam wide shot. And there were some times when it was cutting from 2 or 3 close-ups where you couldn't even tell what the action was that was happening.
Yeah.
You have no spatial context. And then you feel like you're underwater or like you feel like you're JFK Jr. flying a plane, you know? It's like
and it's weird. It's becoming more and more noticeable that these promotions all have different styles. I feel like Impact, surprisingly, is the most old school, traditional style television production. They seem like a bunch of guys who have done it forever, but they're doing it in a small venue with less cameras and whatnot. But it's pretty straightforward deal. You know, they have 2 cameras outside and a hard camera and then a jib, I think. You know, but what's your favorite? Who's doing your favorite camera work right now, Byron?
For me, I love the New Japan presentation in general. I think they do have an intricate camera style directing and as far as shooting, but it's so subtle. It doesn't stand out. You don't see it unless you look for it, but they hit all their story points, you know.
They also have a super wide camera there, like a super hard cam, which is kind of nice. Where you see the whole arena really nicely.
Yeah, you get that Rainmaker shot, which is great. I enjoy that. I think though, I don't have complaints about AEW in general, their presentation, but I do think that at Daly's Place they're handicapped, where they have a couple ringside cameras and they have their hard cam, but they can't shoot. They're stuck on the one side, and since they've been there, you miss so much of wrestlers' faces.
But also, they're stuck on the one side. Why don't they play to it?
That's another thing. Like I enjoy that part about AEW that they don't present overly like WWE to the hard cam. Like if you're about to hit your finish and you have to pick someone up, you pick someone up and you spin around, face the camera, look at the camera and hit it, or you have to always pin. I
feel like this is because they don't have enough high-level TV people. And the thing about WWE is I know for a fact they're recruiting like top-notch Hollywood people all the time. You know, my mentor and boss, Ian Jones, went and worked there for a while, and he was a great TV producer. Didn't last that long working for Stephanie, but he was even on camera for a little while. But I know he knows how to shoot a damn show. I know he knows what a real script is. You know what I mean?
Last night was Michael Bay.
Yeah. No, it was worse than that. Michael Bay actually has like some sort of coherent thing. It's just people don't like it.
I don't know. It was super weird. Like I like AAA a lot, believe it or not, because those camera guys don't miss spots. And they're very similar to the New Japan style. In fact, I think they actually copy New Japan in a lot of ways on purpose. But they don't miss spots. And if you watch AAA, like Triple Mania may have a whole lot of things wrong with it, but it's very rarely the camera work.
But you see everything. And
you see everything.
If you've ever been a camera operator, like the stuff that you and I do, Justin, and you're there shooting something that's only going to happen once, you know, like with Storms, or like when we were doing a tow truck show, and like they're only going to pick the truck up once. You have to get it right.
Try some of those police shows. Police shows I've done, man. It's not like you're gonna catch a perp twice. Like you get that dude on the ground one time, you get one shot, and you are running for dear life. And if you don't have the right coverage, you just don't have a job the next morning.
And you got to learn to be patient and trust your wide shots and your medium wide shots. Like you don't have to do the super zoom specific close up every single time. Let the action play out and have the camera work. Just observe, you know?
Yeah. You know what I've kind of realized? I feel like, you know, AEW, those guys just don't have enough experience yet. That's their biggest problem. I feel like, it's not even just that they don't have experience. I'm sure the camera people and tech people there it's probably, some of them are probably 20, 30 years into their careers. The problem is they don't have enough experience with wrestling. Yeah. Because all the other people that already know how to do wrestling are at other places. And Impact is pretty experienced. I mean, look, some of the people there are experienced, but I don't think enough of them are.
Well, I think the at least the early crew, I'm not sure because if it's now or if it was, because you know at the beginning you were telling us how there were the like sort of the Young Buck shows, like All Out, the Ring of Honor shows, and then there were the Tony Khan's people. Yeah. But at some point they were having the crew that was doing the New Japan America shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean,
they need those guys, but they need those guys to have a voice too. And I don't know if the people that they had were powerful enough to say, "Hey, we need to do it this way."
But I like that stuff where where they don't present and you miss. Like there's this classic Four Horsemen Sting promo where they're all just huddled in a circle and the camera's
AJ Styles
with the zoom and
Royal Rumble debut.
But yeah, see, that's Justin's thing about what you said yesterday when I was complaining to you about this. You're like, these other guys, AAA, they're there to catch the spots, and WWE is there to catch the reactions. And you have a history of moments they have to fix. Like,
that's the difference. WWE is what they're doing at WWE is they're shooting it for the highlight reel that comes later. They're shooting it for the legacy of the spot instead of for the actual friggin' spot. And it's like, but you've got all the tape and the cameras. You can still get that later. Why is that the shot the director's calling for on TV? I get it. You want the Alexa Bliss reaction shot, but now you've missed what the hell happened to Alexa Bliss to get us the friggin' reaction shot. So great. We'll have a great reaction shot in the package.
I
don't know what happened.
Where it was all over the place. Like, not only was we think that she possibly was supposed to Hulk up or wasn't supposed to go, but there was a whole weird camera thing there as well.
Yeah, there really was. All right, let's get into it then. Let's get into this Royal Rumble.
I just want to make the quick point that they ruined AJ Styles' premiere or debut, and then they also ruined Edge's return. They missed his spear. Like, I guess you could be like, okay, maybe Kevin doesn't think people know who AJ Styles is or something, but like Edge, you don't get the spear. You know he's going to run in and do a spear first thing. So I just have to complain.
But that's what it is. And the other, part of the other thing I think that was a hindrance there is this new 8K cam thing that you're seeing on the
Oh my God, how weird is that?
It's so hyper real, but it's also got this lens. It's got this lens on it that's got a shallower depth. So they have to pull focus on it or whatever. And I think it's been working pretty decent on Raw and SmackDown, but I think for the Royal Rumble where people are running in and not doing their regular timed entrances, it was throwing off, the guys calling it in the truck. So
and everyone's vomiting backstage.
And they should have let the wrestlers run past the camera instead of trying to, pan to a profile shot.
Well, but the thing is that camera doesn't work right with a side angle or profile really well. I mean, it really wants to have a dead-on front shot, and they're kind of been modifying people's entrances to work for this camera. And look,
had a great one.
I love that. What, you're clicking on and off, Meef? Where'd you go? I love that.
Pissing me off.
Meef doesn't want us to hear him abusing his animal.
Yeah.
It's so weird because I love that WWE is pushing the techniques and the look of the show, and they're doing things that no one else is doing. I just hate that that it doesn't work half the time.
Practice it first and then try. Yeah.
Well, look.
How are they going to practice it though?
They got all the CG floating in the air. They got this 8K camera on the ring walk-ins. It's part of what makes them the big show and other companies aren't. So
that is something that stands out to me, especially in the Sasha Banks match, because Sasha's like, is she going to leave? Is she going to leave? Or not going to leave? And like, she has a great name and she was in Star Wars. So like, why doesn't she go to AEW or somewhere else? But you look at the WWE presentation, aside from camera work and the live editing, and they're like Disneyland, and the next best thing like AEW is like Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, it really is. There's a big difference production wise. Anyway, so let's talk about this. The first thing I want to talk about is a little bit Lucha Libre related and also Royal Rumble related, which is I like to call this Victoria Royal Rumble. Because we had two big Victoria things happening here. Yes. Victoria, the wrestler, returned. Widow's peaked the hell out of some people. And look, not in the best shape ever, but wrestled absolutely like she was.
Yeah.
And kudos to her. She is amazing. I thought that her performance in the Women's Royal Rumble was a highlight. And I was a little upset that she didn't get to be in there with her buddy Mickie James and whatnot. But for a woman who is clearly past it to get in there and look better than a lot of women who clearly are not was, I thought, really awesome. But the real Victoria that I'm talking about is Victoria Beer, because I think that this has heavy implications for Lucha Libre in general. When have you ever seen WWE in the middle of a match drop a sponsorship that heavy?
Yeah.
Oh my God! For Victoria
between matches,
Beer?
there's Skittles, but not actually during a match.
No, but we're not even talking.
No,
we're not even talking for a major U.S. sponsor. We're talking for a beer that you can barely get here in the United States. You have to special order it. Most places.
It's not Dos
also, like
Pacifico, you can get even easier here.
Oh,
you can get anything.
Pacifico Clara. Oh my God!
Ray comes.
How good is that beer?
And before they could say Rey Mysterio is super awesome and he's coming to the ring, they're like, Rey Mysterio brought to you by Victoria, blah, 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 for like 15 seconds. And then no one else could interrupt. They couldn't mention the match. It was a long
nothing. And people in the match even, I think, knew it because they're all just standing in the corner giving noogies or whatever they do in the middle of the Rumble, whatever the guys tell them in the back. But I was shocked. This is a good thing though. If you want more Lucha Libre in WWE, because if they have a major sponsor coming on that they're willing to interrupt the Royal Rumble for, put Ray in Victoria gear, put an on-screen thing on there, and then take 30 seconds out of the broadcast to just talk about this sponsor, that means they drop some loot. And that means that WWE is behind it. And if there's money coming out of Mexico to WWE, they're going to do things for Mexico. We have seen this before. You don't put a belt on a Jinder Mahal unless you got a big tour through India coming up.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. You get a Finn Balor because they were doing great things in Europe, and they have lots of European stars now because the money was coming from there. The money comes from this.
Yeah, he won his belt in Japan. They wanted it to be a huge show.
Yeah, and look, here's the deal. Follow the money. And the money coming from Victoria is huge. What you've been seeing with Lucha Libre on NXT and with Santos and them actually giving those guys the rub, pushing Dominic, I don't think this is by accident. I also think that this does not bode well for AAA. Victoria has been a huge sponsor of theirs, and if they can find someplace better to put their money, regardless of whether or what that actually says about AAA, but I almost get the feeling that this deal, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this deal was brokered by Dorian or some people over at AAA. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to Uncle Vince saying, help us out with our IP situation here, or help us take a piece of AAA or something else. I feel like there may actually be reasons the doors to Mexico are opening up at WWE right now. I couldn't specify what that is. I feel like there's something more afoot. There's too many coincidences.
Something rumbling in the background.
Yeah, and AAA needs it. AAA clearly needs it. There's been talk that they're approaching CMLL about their IP. There's been talk about, what they're going to do in the States. The YouTube was up and then down, and then are they making deals with the rest of FMV, whatever, factory made, Lucha Libre, whatever. Those guys don't want to run a wrestling company. The rest of the people over at Factory Made don't want to run a wrestling company. They don't want that IP. They don't want to reinvigorate Lucha Underground. They don't want to, own AAA and have to merchandise. They just want to get paid for that crap and be done with it. So there's something in the works. And seeing a huge sponsor like Victoria there, oh shit, it's Mayor Kane.
Oh God,
here come the mayor. Anyway,
do you think that they were suggesting that he does his legacy gimmick, and he's like, I'm not wearing a fucking mask?
Who, Kane? No, that's hilarious. Just because he's a Republican.
Oh, he did wear a mask.
He wore a mask. He did.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention
but it wasn't over his nose. He didn't properly wear a mask, so it's fine. I think he's still covered. I think his constituents will still have him.
No, he was the only one who voted against masks in his whatever group of peers he's in.
Yeah, I believe it. Anyway, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler defeat Awesome Charlotte Flair and Asuka. Crazy-fied Asuka, who every time they let her speak English, I think goes more and more insane with it. And I feel like she's still just doing it phonetically, which makes it hilarious and awesome to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she has no clue what she's saying half the time when she does it, but she just gets more and more amped up and says it like it is the best thing she's ever said. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I love Asuka, and I think she has that Pentagon Junior sort of appeal with her promos. Like, she can cut it in any language, and you know what's going on, and you're into it, and she does. But then she becomes kind of adorable when she's doing English. But just, I don't know, something about seeing, and she's great at super entertaining and commentary and everything, but something about seeing her do that a whole bunch in WWE seems a little exploitative. Like, they're like,
100%.
Put the Fabi, accent out and have sort of.
I think they're totally racistly abusing her all over the place. But the part about it that I like is her, and the fact that she's like, you know what? This is the cards I've been dealt. I am going all in on this, and I'm taking this 5 times more over the top. Yeah, and the simple fact of the matter is, when Vince hands you rotten eggs, then you scramble them and you make something out of it anyway. I mean, this is what you do with Vince, or get out of there.
Yeah, she's great too. Like, she has all these other diversified means of entertaining and income. She owns companies, she has Twitch, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, she's definitely, as long as she's getting paid and she's getting featured, she's getting something back from the system.
Yep. She's milking it.
That's that's the best way you can. That's the best you could do in wrestling.
The rest of this match, absolutely nothing surprising. I love the fact that somehow at 748 years old, Ric Flair is 100% still relevant. There was nothing surprising that happened here. This was exactly the story you expected, but I think it's the exact story you wanted from whatever they're doing with this. It's you didn't expect Charlotte to retain here. That actually clogs things up too much. Asuka's already got her belt. The story with Rick and Lacey Evans was working fine. So you expected them to put it on Baszler and Nia. And also the belts, those tag women's belt mean almost nothing the way they've been using them anyway. and it can only help to speed up the disintegration of Nia and Shayna. So, like whatever, good, and it also keeps Nia out of the way. It means there's no reason to have to put a big singles title on Nia.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to
keep her as a tag team where she can't be in the ring the whole match.
Yeah, the giants in divisions like her, just all the way going back to Big Show, it's kind of hard because you see them, and you're like, they should be champ, and then when they're champ, you're like Brock Lesnar too, like, okay, now no one should beat them, and it just creates a very difficult way. And also it should be
she's terrible at wrestling.
As often as possible, that should be said. She's terrible. She's a big person, not like, and I don't mean like big fat person, anything offensive like that. I mean like stature. She's a monster in the division. There's a place for that in wrestling, and she isn't.
But she's not the best version of it. We've seen lots of.
She's not even
monsters.
strong.
Awesome Kong, come on, like whatever.
Yeah.
She can barely body slam someone. Like she's not.
Did you see the leg drop? She literally looks like, oh god.
It's just she's not.
It's just sloppy wrestling, is what it is, and she's had the time to correct these things.
It's somebody who's in a position that basically they didn't have to work.
And I'm not even talking. And to me, it's like, look, I'm not even commenting on whether she bumps people too hard or not, or protects them, or safe, or this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. I don't care.
She never protects anybody.
My whole thing is, I don't care about that. As a fan, as a viewer of the show, as a person whose eyeballs are seeing it, it doesn't look good to me, and it's not entertaining. That's it. If they can't make her entertaining, I don't want her on my TV. Why?
Out there
she is blonde as well.
There was one NXT match, or maybe two, when they booked her like a monster. She came out, you powerbomb people. She was doing power moves. Her leg drop looked like it was killing people, like Yokozuna leg drop, Yeah. And it worked. And then after that, just a lot of people after the NXT run, they don't get used right. And it sucks. Like she should be in there as the biggest, most imposing force. Choke slam people or like press slam someone. She can barely body slam someone.
But also for someone of her size and obviously in that division, she could literally just punch people in the face and kill them. She also doesn't carry her body in any form of like aggressive manner. Her voice isn't aggressive. She's just catty, if anything, but she's just bland and
that's part of the problem. She seems like she should be your buddy. I think that they were doing a better job with her in her early face turn situation. But then the problem seems like no matter what, it seems like she's not coming off as mean or strong or powerful. She's coming off as whiny and entitled, no matter what you do.
She might be putting effort in and doing something, but it's in that direction, and it feels.
They just take her off TV for 2 months, rebrand her. They could probably come up with something. Let's not spend 2 decades time on it. But I want to stick with the ladies here. Let's do all the ladies stuff first here.
Well.
So I'd like to talk about Sasha versus Carmella. Sasha wins.
Yeah,
she retains the title. This is amazing stuff for Sasha. It's not that she hasn't won belts before. It's that they normally just ghost off of her overnight.
It's all it took was, being Snoop's cousin wasn't enough. Being an entrance with Snoop wasn't enough. Being a good wrestler who committed to the business and is dedicated to the company wasn't enough. You had to get on Star Wars to get one good title defense.
Who is enough?
Although they actually made each other look really good in this match.
And here's the thing.
The suicide dive.
First of all, wait, hold on. Let's not say they made each other look good. Let's say that Carmella showed up and did a great job for Carmella and that Sasha made them both look good. Because I think that's the reality. I think that Sasha actually showed that she is a true veteran of the sport now.
Yeah.
She did not carry Carmella at all. Carmella did her part just fine, but there was a few covers that Sasha got in there. She helped her out a couple times, and she protected Carmella more than anything else. And that's what a real veteran does. You go in there, you protect the match, you protect how the match looks, you protect the other person's body, you protect your body. There's a reason why they call it protecting, because that's literally what you're doing. It's your job out there to guard the business when you're in the ring and you're the real star. That's your job. And
Yeah.
Sasha actually did that job. She's the champion. She has the belt. It's her match. It's on her to make the whole damn thing look good, to take Carmella to the next level. Not for Carmella to take her to the next level. She should be bringing Carmella up. And she did. She 100% did.
Yeah, it was a real smart match. And Sasha definitely changed the style to do a little bit more character or give more room for character work and also do more mat stuff. Like, I loved her breaking of the code of silence where she just reached out and grabbed Carmella's hand that she was basing on and broke the hold. I loved how she hooked the finish. Like, she did a very cool, interesting sort of thing. It was great.
It's almost as if being taught how to fight for a action TV show has helped her wrestling ability.
It might have.
I think she's always been good too, though.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
But
No.
also, it was a real smart match to your point, and I think I think it's obvious to talk about that with Sasha, but I think Carmella, when she started out, you're like, okay, she's just the fluff on the Enzo and Cass thing and blah, blah, blah. And she's had the better career because I think, regardless of her lineage, I think she has wrestling in her blood and this and that, but like, she's smart. Like, she booked the Ellsworth stuff because she saw her character, like her stories and stuff were cycling down. Then she booked that, and that gave her a whole new life. And like, she won the first women's Money in a Banker, or that whole thing. And like, she did entertaining stuff, and I'm sure she was a part of her current, rebirth, character.
Yeah, she's right though. Mella is money. She knows how to draw. She knows how to bring things into her storyline to make it interesting.
And she did the little handstand thing, the little handstand Rana.
Yeah.
On the apron, which I was like, oh my god, I didn't expect her to do anything like that.
And she's her Ranas are pretty amazing too because she's so long. It's a lot of times those long ones, they slip, but she actually locks her legs up the right way and gets it done. No, she's impressive, and I think one of the biggest hindrance for her is the fact that if she had been consistently wrestling and just going out and sucking like Sasha did for a year, I think Carmella would be even better right now. But she keeps getting these weird ebbs and flows in her careers where she's on TV, she's off TV, she's in the gym, she's not in the gym, she's working on her look, she's working on her gimmick and not her wrestling, and then she's working on her wrestling and not her like, she just hasn't had this nice, steady consistency. And hopefully this year she'll get it. I think she's still a superstar for sure. And I think she'll be up there on the level with Charlotte and Sasha and Bayley if she wants to be. And we'll get to some other women that should be in that stratosphere as well, who sadly are not.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this women's Royal Rumble. Again, you mentioned Victoria. That was great, but no surprises, huh?
No.
I mean, no surprise.
Chelsea, I suppose it was kind of, yeah.
There's only so much they can do with COVID, bringing in.
There's no Tessa Blanchard.
There's no Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, those are two big names.
They're available.
There's no
Becky.
I mean, to me,
I don't know if Becky's available yet or not, though.
No.
Becky? I mean,
I think she teased it. She was backstage. She took the picture, didn't she? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, why would she come back for, with everything going on? Like,
yeah, fuck it.
Take another year off, come back at another Rumble or
I don't know, Melissa Santos. Jesus, like, do you remember the fourth season of Lucha Underground? Melissa Santos. Everyone was like, damn, I wonder who they're going to get to be the ring announcer. Melissa had a baby like 3.5 days ago, and there she is. She came out with spiked high heels
fresh from hospital.
Standing on the side with the baby or whatever.
But I think as far as like how big of a star Becky is and how big the return is going to be, like there's
I'm not trying to compare Melissa Santos to Becky Lynch, by the way. Melissa does not have to wrestle active competition in the ring.
Like, but there's only like maybe 2 or 3 times out of the whole year, reasonably, responsibly, you're going to bring Becky back into WWE from her break. Like you're gonna. Really, it's really one. It's the Rumble, unless you want to, because you can't just bring her back for SummerSlam. You got to bring her back at some
Money in the Bank as a surprise entrance.
So you do Rumble to do the WrestleMania build. Like otherwise, you're just wasting money and you're wasting her time. And you're wasting the company's resources.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. This Women's Royal Rumble, the actual match itself, I would say, so far out of all of them, this one had the best wrestling.
Yeah.
And
they threw it right from the very beginning. They put Bailey out there, who's doing great stuff, and then they had Naomi, and then they had Bianca.
And every time it got down to those three, or they were doing something, I was like, "This is great. Please let one of them win." Even though I didn't want it to be Bailey. I mean, I feel like she's had her time in her run, and she's in the mix no matter what. Bianca and Naomi were great, and I had not been a huge fan of Naomi at times, but I thought in this light and with Bianca, they were a good matchup, especially with Bailey in there to throw some more traditional stuff at them. And their side of the apron spots worked great too, because you didn't have Kofi in the men's this year, so you couldn't have some of those fun things. But the way that they pulled those off, I thought was great, and they were the right choice. They were the right choice to strap the whole thing on. But I got to talk about Rhea Ripley, because go ahead.
Thing about Naomi while we're on it real quick. And maybe she was rusty coming back, but there's been that thing where she has this tremendous presentation and charisma, and she's just great and one of the most authentic and unique people on the roster. And every time she pops out, like, she trends, and non-wrestling fans are like, "Who is this? I want her on my TV and for whatever I'm watching." She's great. But there's been this a slight knock on her, in that she's so athletic and she can do cool stuff, but the next step isn't there as far as like putting a match together, or
but you know what that is? Her move set before was horrible, but that's because she was facing all the leftover divas that were still in the WWE forever. Like, they weren't putting her with the girls that could take her to a bigger match, and when they were, the matches were shorter because they didn't feel like she was ready to do more yet. She needs stuff like this. She needs to be in there with Bailey's and Bianca's and people who have deeper move sets. Like, Bianca spent time in NXT when all the girls were throwing everything at each other. Everything. She had to deal with Shayna Baszler when she was in NXT, and they had to scale Shayna back from her move set because she wanted to take every real MMA move and turn it into a pro wrestling move.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Look, hold on, Josh Burnett's butt boy. Why don't you slow down there, girl?" Like,
yeah. No, I mean, Bianca, I remember she came out and like she was a nobody with no history. Like, you knew nothing about her. She was just like the new kid in school, and really, really just went through it with everyone. And by the time she got up to the big show, she was legit as all hell. And you see her, and like, they can't hold her back. If they don't want her to wrestle much, she gets on camera and she has the personality. If they give her like a minute of wrestling, she's gonna impress. And that's the thing, like, because when it was the three of them, Naomi to me looked like she was having a hard time keeping up, because Bailey's Bailey, and she's like, pretty much basing.
And it wasn't her athleticism; it was her ring knowledge.
Yeah, and Bianca is just so. Yes, you see it in this Royal Rumble. She is just so good on so many levels, and then not to skip to the end, but like, just she's so authentic as a person, and that comes across. Like, she's a unique.
She's in the right gimmick. So, but then I do want to quickly touch on Rhea Ripley, because when Rhea Ripley came out, all I could think to myself, and the people I've been watching it with too, the second you see her, you're like, "Oh my God, she should be the unified champ across all three of these brands." Like, holy crap, she just looks like she's on a different level than all these people.
I have a question about that. Do you think that she is what Charlotte is trying to put herself into? What
Charlotte wishes she could be.
Yeah.
Charlotte has been that, I think. Charlotte's been that. And Charlotte has had her moments where you just look at Charlotte and you're like, no, clearly she's far and away the best of all these young ladies. And I think she did a great job of it. I think she did the Ric Flair job. I think she did a great version of like, "Hey, I am the women's champion of WWE, period." Even when there was other champions and other people floating around, like, she carried herself that way, and then going down to NXT and defending there and doing this, that, and the other thing. I think Charlotte absolutely has done that, but I think that Rhea Ripley looks like and carries herself like she is the next credible version of that. She's another Beth Phoenix. She's another Charlotte Flair. She has a great wrestling look. She's bigger than the other girls. She's in great shape right now. She can go in the ring. Her moveset is through the roof. She knows what she's doing. She protects her opponents. She does everything right now.
It's funny. Her finish is just a dumb pump handle slam.
But does it need to be anything else? I like that.
Get hurt taking that, and how she get it's perfect.
Everything she does looks like it has major impact on the other person, and yet it's completely safe. That's the whole trick, man. That is what wrestling fans like. We want it to look impactful.
It's been missing.
And it has been missing. We want it to look impactful. We want it to feel special, and we want there to be a story. She's got the two on her own. They've got to give her the story.
Is she 25 years old yet?
She's in that ballpark.
She's got to be 23, I think.
I mean, it's amazing just to look at her last 5 to 7 year transformation. She posted something on Instagram, but her first.
Oh, just from when she came into the women's tournament 3 years ago.
Here's what I don't know about Rhea Ripley. What merch does she have? Can we get her a cool logo? She needs one of those Seth type logos with some symbol.
Back to back R's.
I think have it, but
a symbol that dudes would wear on a shirt and not make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs better merch because I think she does have that stuff. It's just how would you know it?
Yeah,
the best thing for her as well would be
she
should have a Hot Topic deal.
Yeah.
Because of her whole gear look,
And she's the real deal version of that too.
Yeah,
you want to make some money off of Rhea Ripley, get the mall punk
dog collars,
to follow a real punk like her, and you'll make some money. I think it's part of why Cross does so well with merch is because he's a real metalhead. Cross likes actual metal. You drive by Cross's car and there's Sepultura coming out, or Gwar, or Mastodon, or something playing from his car.
I remember once trying to get hold of what was the band? Dimmu Borgwar's band manager for him. I was trying to get hold of them. That's when you start going, real metal. You go Dimmu Borgwar. You get into the Norwegian shit.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love how at signings and stuff, everyone wears their gimmick shirts. And he's there in a Pantera shirt, not giving up,
or a Mayhem shirt.
Mayhem, easily. Look, but that's the thing, and that's part of the people who know Cross know that and will flock to his merch because he's got this metal looking merch. And honestly, the last TikTok shirt kind of softened it a little bit. I think they should keep with the harder edge stuff, and it'll sell. And then they do something a little more punk rock Ramones-esque for Rhea, and I think they've got a huge winner on their hands, and they don't even realize it. But when it came down to the two of them, I felt like Rhea should have won, but I was not mad at all for even a half a second about Bianca Belair taking that crown. I think she's got a great story. I think they can do a lot with her, and I think the rub from Rhea being in the final two will actually help her a lot too.
Is this the first Rumble after Pat Patterson passed away?
Yes.
I don't know how involved he was in his final years, but the finishes for both Rumbles, Patterson is the genius mind of booking Royal Rumbles. The finishes for both I thought were really, really good.
I think so, but that honestly, I hate to say it, might be a product of him not being involved because I feel like some of his recent ideas were too swervy. But we'll get into that in a sec. So I like the ending of this. The Jillian Hall and Billy Kay moment I thought was actually, if you're going to put the two most annoying characters in there that are purposely annoying of all time, that is the way to do it. It was funny. It was a lighthearted moment in the middle. And then the 24/7 title coming through in the middle of the match. I thought that was genius too. R-Truth gets all these moments backstage and this, that, and the other thing and all these weird things. But put my man in the ring for a minute. That was funny. The whole bit was actually
Alicia
well
Fox
done.
winning.
Yeah, I loved Alicia Fox. Got a a brief run with the belt. She's great. I feel like they disrespected her a little bit when they were calling her. When they were
Calling
saying
her what she is.
They were calling her a bit erratic and stuff. I feel like they weren't talking about her gimmick.
No, they weren't at all.
Been a terrible wrestler.
No,
which would have been accurate.
I think that they accurately described her behind the scenes, and that's part of the business. Is that if you're a wingnut for any reason, whether it's your mental health, your diet, whatever, wrestling is like a schoolyard full of second graders. they're going to call you out for whatever your differences are. Now, the cool thing about wrestling is you're still going to be accepted in spite of those differences, but only if you're okay with being made fun of for those differences. If you're Paul White, you're gonna get made fun of for being a big giant guy with a ham fist. It's gonna happen.
If you're Brian Pillman Jr., every time something embarrassing happens to you on camera, they're gonna say, "Pop in the locker room right now."
Yeah, it's just gonna happen, dude. I mean, I watched the Yokozuna special afterwards, and the whole story is about how he dies from his eating habits. But the first half of it has jokes about his eating habits.
Oh.
I mean, the King is there talking about how Yokozuna cracked a toilet or something. It's just like, what? You're going to tell us that
take
story?
the building apart, didn't they?
I mean, but the whole thing is like,
left his body out.
Telling this tragic, but this is wrestling, man. This is wrestling. And if you're not prepared for that, if Alicia Fox is not prepared to be openly ridiculed for her instability at times, then get out now. I mean, if you look, how many times did they show the Titus highlight? Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh no, he was recreating it on other shows.
Oh my God.
It was
because
fantastic.
He told him he has to. And honestly, if he doesn't, bye Titus. Like your
Titus,
value
by the way,
us is as the guy who tripped under the ring at WrestleMania. You're a big lurpy dude. Sorry about your luck.
He blocked me on Twitter so he can go kick rocks.
Yeah, because it's okay for other wrestlers to do it and not for the average person.
So many wrestlers that belong to you.
Only. Well, it's just he was ripping off Famous B, and I just said something like that in a very, very polite way, and he was like, "I'm blocking you after instant." No, he's
all right.
A
Let's
great
talk.
guy.
Let's talk about some of the men's matches here. McIntyre defeats Goldberg. Look, this was. I think this is exactly what this match was supposed to be. Yeah. It's a good way to pass time for McIntyre. It puts a name on his record. And honestly, right now, what they don't want to do is put the shine on McIntyre. They don't need to right now. They'll build a program for him. This was better for him than a weird hot shot, something else.
Yeah.
Or too much spotlight. Like this is Roman's time right now. The Rumble is great. The thing with Edge, like, put a big name on McIntyre. And Goldberg did better than Goldberg has in recent years.
Yeah.
That was much better Goldberg.
It was. I mean,
Bill Lesnar, as I like to call him, in his shorts.
His shorts were a little funny. But also, like you were saying, he's an old man. I think he was limping from the beginning. I think he had something. And I think it led to like bad leg work on the jackhammer. But still, it was a better jackhammer than he did on Taker.
He has to take it. Yeah.
And Drew McIntyre is not a small dude.
No,
also like when the match started, my initial reaction was like, oh, they're just gonna hit their finisher 5 times, and then whoever hits the last one is gonna win. This is lame. But like as a kid, I loved Ultimate Warrior matches, and I feel like a lot of people did. They were change of pace, they're exciting, and it's like the exact opposite of like a New Japan main event that's gonna go 30-40 minutes. It's
they kick the show off with 2 names, it's done in 5 minutes. It's fine.
Like, that means you have to pay attention to like every single moment that happens in the short 3 to 5 minute match is a huge moment.
That's
and
it.
It's completely different, and I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
It's great, and also Goldberg is a big musclehead asshole, but I really, really respect what he did in this match to put him over in the match, and I really, really respect.
And it's a quick story too. Like, look, 3 weeks of a story. Goldberg, the old guy, comes in with the legends and says, "You ain't the man yet." Blah blah blah. You got to go through me, and then Drew goes through him, and then they shake hands, and then the storyline's over. It's great. Just put a name on his resume and pass him along down the line, and then we can do something bigger and better with Drew. Okay. Roman Reigns defeats KO in a last man standing match. First of all, earlier in the show, Adam Pearce almost deserves Wall of Shame just for being in this match and not in this match. And I got to tell you, as much as I love KO, I still think if this match had been Adam Pearce, it would have been more interesting.
I think so, because KO is great, but you knew the finish. So like,
correct.
And the finish was supposed to be the interesting thing. If it was Adam Pearce, it wouldn't be who's going to win. It was going to be like, what's he going to do? Like, how is it? There's something else to pay attention to.
Now, did I miss it, or did Drago drive a forklift and a pallet into this match at some point and raise it up for KO to dive off of?
I've never seen him without his dragon head. So maybe if he's not wearing his mask, he looks like Roman Reigns. So could have been him. See, the thing to me about this match,
good swanton though. It's beautiful swanton.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Beautiful swanton.
So to me though, the thing about this match was the ref's 10 count ruined the whole thing to me.
This was the worst
several times
ever.
He was so bad.
Too fast. They started at all the wrong times. He seemed unclear of the rules.
It's like they do the big Kevin Owen dive being thrown off through the table and he stands up right away. It's like, you know what you could do to help, sell that? Have the ref have to like run down to Kevin to check if he's alive and then start the 10 count.
Right. He's always right there in camera position. He's in weird spots. He has to count when he's not supposed to. I mean, God dang it. Where are Earl Hebner or Marty Elias when you need them? Because those guys know what to do. The big spot happens. You know what you do first? You go down, you put your hand on the guy's shoulder, you check his hand to make sure he's not legit hurt, and then you talk to him a little bit, you do some more reaction stuff, you look around, and then you start counting after you've sent the signal into all the guys of what the hell is happening in the match. This ref had no control over this whole thing. Roman was calling the whole thing, which was even weirder that KO wasn't. I didn't get that either because Roman's timing is not bad, but still KO's the one taking all the big spots. Why isn't he calling it? However, the golf cart, they won up the hell out of AEW. Yeah. That golf cart spot was way better. I hope they show it a million times. KO just goes right through that thing. Roman's got his foot on an elk. Oh man.
I thought Roman was going to run him over at like 7.
Did you see Roman's face? When he looked, he looked over at KO like,
the hand came up as well.
I don't think that he thought that KO was going to throw himself into the windshield that way, and he went butt first, right, and he was in the passenger seat next to Roman, and Roman's just like, "What the hell did we just do?"
I bet KO is thinking, to amuse himself, he was going to try and go through the windshield and like actually shoulder block Roman while he was driving.
So here's the thing, man. Does this kind of stuff happen too much in wrestling now? Like, I think to myself, oh my God, if I had seen this match in 2003, even, this would have been gangbusters. This would have been through the roof. Like, are we too numb to this kind of stuff now that this match didn't even really matter?
I think once ECW showed up on Raw, it saturated everything.
I think once we reached over 18 years old, everything went downhill.
I don't know. I mean, I was still in my mid-20s.
It's like Christmas, though, isn't it? It's like Christmas.
Yeah,
Christmas ain't the same anymore. If you know what I mean.
Seen enough wrestling.
It's like wrestling. Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, and you see us here talking about dissecting it and whatnot. So I mean, a little bit of the magic is gone. But I'll tell you what was not magical: that handcuffing under the spot. Boy, did they blow that, and the ref helped them blow it too.
If he never started the 10 count, it would have been fine.
Right. So
the thing is, if he started it 20 seconds too late,
they played everything correctly up to knocking out the first ref. But then Heyman comes out, he can't get the key thing, and then oh my God, Roman could have stood up the whole time anyway and didn't have to murder the first ref.
I hate those finishes anyway to last man standings when it's like, why don't you put a table on Big Show and then he can't get up.
I know. And they wanted to take the time bomb effect. They wanted to start the count and then have Heyman get him out right at the last second. But clearly anybody who was in Gorilla should have been able to see that Heyman was not getting Roman out, that the key wasn't working right because the locks were all facing the wrong way and were pressed up against the metal. And Roman wasn't moving the right way to expose them.
Kevin Owens, genius.
Starts counting, which clearly was a signal he got from somebody because he was on the wrong side. What a cluster. So then you got Roman blows the whole finish, and then you finally finish the thing, and it was just like, Jesus Christ, guys, come on.
He killed the referee. Not only was it about 30 seconds into technically when he should have started the count, but he got hold of him, and it's like he just got 9. And he's near enough 10. Roman grabs him, and it's like 3 seconds go by. throws him into a just go 10 in his face.
Well, there's
Just go 10. That would have been the best thing ever.
But
Just go 10.
Yeah, that would have been great. It would have sent shockwaves. But their whole 10 count, just everything, like the rules of that were just so. I mean, it's wrestling. You can make up the rules as you go, but it goes against.
You've got to get to your feet, and that means you've got to stand vertical, right?
Like,
Not just I'm having a shit.
Climb and lean against something. So, like, you've seen it, like in Rocky movies and boxing, like someone's trying to get up to the 10 count, and they get on their feet at 9, but then, like in the momentum of standing, they fall over again. It's like, oh no, they're still down. That's 10. And Roman did that. They their 10 counts were completely illegitimate for
go
fake
back and
fighting
watch
sport.
Rock versus Foley. I mean,
but I made that mistake.
But look at how brutally painful the reffing is. The reffing makes you even more disgusted, and that's what you're supposed to do in a match like this. In an I Quit match or a last man standing match, the ref is supposed to make it so brutally drawn out that you're just like, I hate this. Why are these guys doing this to each other? You didn't feel that at all here.
Right.
Yeah, like you want
another
so nasty count. You want the ref to be reacting to everything in shock and looking at him like, oh my God, why do I have this job? You want the ref to feel disgusted. This
should have had Charles Robinson ref it.
Somebody. Anyway.
But another thing is just like
should have had Droz do it and he could have thrown up.
Go ahead.
It's also like KO is not gonna win. Like they're booking, like I love Kevin Owens. And I do enjoy Dolph Ziggler, and I think he's talented, and I think he has a good understanding of the business. But they're turning Kevin Owens into like the upper mid card Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
that's what he is.
Yeah,
his best run ever will probably have been that run with Jericho because that's how Vince sees him. Look, we forgot to talk about back in the Women's Royal Rumble thing, the weird Alexa Bliss spot. I think that was totally blown. Yeah. I think she was supposed to do this weird hulking up Bray moment that you saw starting to happen. They missed the camera thing trying to get this close-up reaction. And then I think she was with the music. I think she was supposed to hold on to the ropes and hulk up and do some Bray-related spot, because otherwise, if that was really the way it was supposed to go, that was a huge waste of all they've invested in her right now. Like she should have been in there blowing a fireball or a big lights out spot, a weird thing.
Nah,
like something else should have happened.
Still
she had a meltdown. Whatever. I'm just saying that like something else was supposed to go down there.
Yeah.
And also we had 10 minutes short, which is surprising for WWE these days. So I feel like that spot didn't happen the way it was supposed to.
I think there were a few blown eliminations. Like Peyton Royce was on her way out and did like the 1 foot hook, but then she kept going.
Yeah. There's a couple. And normally they plan for a few of those things to happen. Like, people are going to blow it every now and then or miss one.
Royce still looked great, and, good on her and others for trying stuff. But yeah, it's a live show.
All right. So let's talk about this Royal Rumble. Edge enters number 1, leaves victorious. That is awesome. I was not expecting it. After his pop last year, when he came out,
it's a goodbye moment.
That was awesome. And like, look, this is great because again, we talked earlier about how WWE's camera work is working towards the highlight packages a lot of times. This is working towards the documentary for Edge. That's what it's doing. This is the WWE creating a legacy out of this guy. They're making him bigger than life. That's what they're supposed to do. Edge is a true superstar. I don't care how well he can go in the ring at this point in time. If he can stand up and they can make a story out of it, this is part of what wrestling is about. This is what AEW gets wrong. This is actual storytelling. It's not about who deserves it. It's not about making the new star. It's not about this or the other thing. It's about WWE looked at Edge and said, we have a story that we can tell here. Let's go out. Let's use this whole pay-per-view to tell the story of this one guy, period. Mm-hmm. I happen to love that because I think this particular guy deserves it. Yeah, and it let Christian get back in there too, which is great. He's a TNA Hall of Famer.
Yeah, how they get his
just in Just seeing Edge get into this, obviously been in the ring together again.
I mean, dude, I was waiting
I don't
for
think
Dan.
he thought it was going to happen. Yeah,
I was waiting for Gangrel to come out number 30, man. I was pumped for it. I was stoked.
And Paula called Jeff Hardy spot as well, which was hilarious.
Now,
Paula was like, "Oh, Jeff Hardy's going to come out and help Edge," and I was like, "Yeah," and then he did.
What you guys don't know is that not that it was the most special thing in the world, but Meatloaf did call to the T, to the moment, exactly what was going to happen with Randy Orton, except the part where he loses. Because honestly, we all thought that, oh, Randy's just going to go over there, put him in a thing with Drew, blah, 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 blah. It's done deal. Like, and here's the great thing about it being Edge. I don't know if he's going after Roman or Drew or Santos Escobar. Like, I have no idea. You actually have a couple of weeks of story that you can get out of that alone. Like, what is Edge going to do with this newfound power? Where's he going with it? I mean, I want to think it's Roman. I'd love to actually see Roman drop to Edge for a short period of time at WrestleMania. It's not going to hurt Roman.
Yeah, Edge has a really great built-in internal story that he can carry to anyone he faces. You know.
Now, what I fear is you'll see Drew McIntyre drop to Randy Orton at Fastlane, and you'll get Edge versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania again.
Greatest match ever.
They want to relive the greatest match ever nonsense and fight on top of a production truck or whatever nonsense, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. I feel like that's really where we're going because those guys want an opportunity to do that in front of an actual crowd, which they will have at WrestleMania. They'll have actual people there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I didn't necessarily hate that match they had. I mean, there were some spots, like Chris Benoit spot wasn't the best, but the name of it would just, the name.
I get what they're being salacious. They were trying to be over the top and ridiculous. I just don't know how I feel about that. But look, so here's my, what other moments did you guys like here? I felt the absence of Kofi. For sure.
Right. That's sure. I loved New Day doing their thing. New Day was, House of Fire. They hit all their great spots.
And great to continue the Big E story. I mean, I feel like, I wish they could do more with him. I don't think they can put a bigger belt on Big E right now. That's just not the landscape of WWE, but this is a good use of him for right now. I loved Lashley in this. And going back to the whole thing we talked about before with Cross and Damian Priest, I gotta say, Damian Priest did what he was supposed to do, and he did it very well. Proud of the guy. Wish Cross had been in that spot, personally. I think, but at the same time, I don't know what they're going to do with Damian after this, but he did the right thing here, man.
I think he's been.
I think he's on. He'll be on Raw or SmackDown. But see, and we talk about this with Luchasaurus too. The big lumbering guys, and I don't mean like slow. I mean they're on these shows. They're big, athletic, fast guys for their size, but generally they're a little bit lumbering with the stuff they do, and they benefit the most from having a lot of action, a lot of people, like a big schmoz type environment. And so that way they can it helps them hit their spots, and all the chaos in the ring hides the in-between lagging that might go on.
But part of it, and this is why I think Cross excels over a lot of these guys, is Cross has learned what to do with the lagging moments. Like I saw Cross versus Simon Gotch, and it was like mat work. And outside the ring stuff, and those moments in between, and then they would get in and they would do a bunch of kickboxing and flurry spots and whatever. But then they knew Cross learned from these guys that he was wrestling, and even Shane Douglas. If you go back and watch Cross's match with Shane Douglas, he learned how to slow a match down, which is part of what Damian hasn't done. He hasn't gotten a chance to work with some of those veteran guys that show you how to slow a match down. But I will still say, we said before, specifically Bobby Lashley's name with both of these guys. If you're Cross or Damian Priest, you're not going to get to wrestle the Kyle O'Reillys and the Johnny Garganos of the world. You're going to have to face the Eliases and the Bobby Lashleys of the world, and these other guys that are huge and yoked that you're not going to pick up easy, that have plenty in the gas tank, and you're going to have to figure out how to make a match look great with those guys. And I thought that Damian's moments with Lashley, especially in the Rumble, looked really, really good, and I was surprised. I thought they were going to suck.
I agree. Like I thought he had a tremendous showing. So I hope he keeps that momentum going, and they don't in 3 weeks he's not doing a comedy bit, 24/7 belt.
Come on, he will be.
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, but
I just
hope.
Firing arrows of love is the Cupid of WWE for Valentine's Day.
Oh no, he's going to turn into what you call him, the magician. Who's that magician you got on there?
The magician gimmick.
I think
the Vegas guy,
Vinny
the
Vegas.
Gothic guy. No, the guy who was on MTV all the time.
Blaine?
No,
David
no,
Blaine.
he was like all Gothic, like I'm mysterious.
Copperfield.
I don't know.
No.
But look, I'm telling you, wait till he comes out in like the booty bunny shorts with the heart on his ass and he's shooting arrows for Valentine's Day in 2 weeks, baby. That's my prediction for Damian Priest. Yeah, but I liked the New Day moments as well. I thought that was fun. The Edge and Christian stuff was fun. Dolph Ziggler was in the Rumble.
Doing what he usually does.
He's so good, but he knows what the deal is. He's getting a good paycheck and he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But he knows they're never going to let him win something that matters.
That was fucking dreadful.
I'll tell you who deserves a lot of props was the locker room leader of this whole Rumble, Daniel Bryan. Yeah. You could see him in there calling the spots, helping people out, talking to the refs, making sure that everybody was going where they were supposed to be going, pulling the right guys into the corners, pushing the right guys back out to the middle. He was on all the run-ins. Daniel was out there sacrificing himself for a couple of spots from the guy.
Yeah.
And he was calling the whole match from inside the ring for the most part that I could see.
I was bummed when he was eliminated. I was hoping he would win.
I wasn't hoping he would win, but I love what he did.
I mean, not from like what's the best story. Just as a fan, I was rooting for him.
Yeah, but his time has come and gone. I mean,
but
I think you see here exactly where D-Bry's spot is now.
Yeah.
In the company. I mean, he is that locker room leader. He's the mini Roman. He's the guy to keep everyone excited and going and doing good work. And nobody can say anything to him because they know what he's done and put his body through to be there in the first place. And they're gonna. I like what they're doing with him. I think they're finding the right way to wind him down.
Well, he's also on the booking team.
Yes, he is. He's going to be an agent. We know that. Like, if you don't keep Daniel Bryan around as an agent and a booker forever, you're crazy because some other company is going to take him immediately. And Mayor Kane came out. I popped for it. I hate his politics. I loved him as a wrestler.
Yeah,
and that's about all I have to say about that.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he has the longest.
I'm not sure about that.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
he seems fine. I mean, he doesn't seem to have a whole bunch of heat in the locker room, but
what really bugged me though? What really bugged me, besides his politics, what really bugged me was I was really rooting for Shinsuke, and they bring him back as face Shinsuke with his cool music. His other music was cool too, but like they freshened him up, and he got a great promo. And it's like, are they going to take him seriously? And he comes in, and when he does the House of Fire that you do when you enter the Rumble, they showed Orton being carried backstage the whole time.
Yeah,
like they just sunk Shinsuke.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks. Like, are they going to give him a fair shot for one more little push? And the answer, I think, is no.
They brought back Carlito. You couldn't cut away to Orton during Carlito doing the backstabber, which is a spam move in Mexico.
It's like, jacked.
First of all, Carlito, when did he become a heavyweight? Carlito is definitely not a cruiserweight anymore, friends.
He's been a body guy for a while.
I know he's been doing stunt work and other stuff and training people, but I mean, wow, he looked great. And I know he trains other wrestlers all the time, so it's not surprising that he still got it, but I wasn't expecting it to look that good.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, man, you guys might need to keep his phone number handy in the Rolodex. Like, is there a reason why we're not just calling Carlito back up and putting him on NXT or somewhere?
I don't think they like him, and they don't try hard enough because he's cool,
I get it.
I think that's lazy.
But I mean, I would throw him on NXT just to show some of these young bucks the ropes. Put him on salary for 6 months.
Absolutely.
Why not? Have him beat some people up. I mean, he looked really good. So Dominic and Ray. I'm going to end this thing talking about some Lucha Libre, even though there was none.
It was a great elimination for Dominic. The way he jumped out and cleared that top rope was amazing.
Yeah, and he got his comeuppance on Baron von Munchausen.
Oh, I love that movie for Baron Corbin, and not that I don't.
Byron, do you know what Munchausen is? Byron?
I'm sorry,
Baron von Munchausen. It's great.
No, Byron, do you know what Munchausen is?
Syndrome.
Yeah.
Anyway, look.
Anyway, Baron Corbin.
There's a reason I have not seen that film, but I don't know.
He got Corbin Burnson out.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I like about Ray. He came in and he was Ray, and it was good for him to just be there. We weren't expecting anything about Ray.
Sponsored by Victoria.
Sponsored by Victoria, which was huge. And that was really what Ray was in there for. But that's good. That shows that they respect him, and like there's money behind Rey Mysterio. Here's the thing I like about Dominic. He came in and everybody who touched him laid in on him. It was amazing. They were like, "Oh, just so you know, we all know your dad, and he said this was fine." I mean, that kid, this is what actually makes me like him. This is what makes him endearing. He is, honest to God, he's like trying his hardest to pay his dues, even though there's a fair bit of nepotism going on. He's got the lineage. He just says, all right, guys, I get it. I have to take this, so I'm going to take it. And Debray lit him up. A few people lit him up. Corbin Burnson lit him up. Like everybody lit him up. And it was like, good thing you're wearing the Shield chest protector now, buddy, because this is not nice what they're doing to you. This is really actually probably against the law in a couple of states, because he's taking full-on blasts.
I wonder if he has the shirt there's two reasons I think he has that shirt. One is because he has the body of a child still. And the second is he knows he's going to get those chops. So whatever he's like pulling a D'Lo right now, D'Lo Brown.
Like there really is hope for him. And man, if WWE does do something with AAA, I would love to see them use that time to get Dominic some more Lucha Libre experience.
Could you imagine them doing this legacy stuff down in Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that might be the plan.
But like, you've got to remember one thing. There's
no reason WWE is taking a major Mexican sponsor if they're not going to do something with it. There's no way that deal happens unless there is some future in the Mexican market, and moving with Peacock, and the weirdness going on with AAA. I think now WWE sees Mexico as a real viable market for them. I mean, they have TV deals and stuff over there.
As long as they kill Psycho Clown.
People watch WWE in Mexico. That's not the point. It's that WWE is not going to be interested unless there's fresh money and expansion there. They're already making what they're making, and they don't have to do anything for it. So there's no reason for them to expand on it if it's going to be the same money. So we'll see. But the way that they've been booking Lucha Libre in general, I think it's great.
I think they've just realized how much money they do actually make in Mexico. I think they just ignored it before.
Wait a minute. But I think they're going to be making some more soon. So anyway, we're almost out of time. I'm going to go watch Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whichever one of those Paul brothers trained for the Ben Askren fight, because I think that'll be funny.
That's a weird fight.
Whichever one of them gets killed.
That's a weird fight, but you know what? There's no telling who's actually going to win, because Ben Askren is garbage with stand-up.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad because Askren should beef. Stop.
Beef. Your cat's farting on me. Your cat's licking the microphone. You can't hear anything you're saying, cat. Go away. What were you saying, Byron?
It's just like Askren should be able to beat up Paul 10 out of 10 times, but Jake Paul,
I believe,
has solid, good, fundamental boxing form.
He's a professional boxer now. I mean, he hasn't fought anybody, but he's sanctioned.
He's taking credit. He's taking credit for knocking out an NBA player, retired NBA player, who was trying to nosedive to the ground on his own in the first place. But he has great form, and going up against a guy who can't box, even if he loses, he's going to look super legit because he's going to box cleaner than Askren.
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, last time we saw Askren, it was Jorge Masvidal, Street Jesus, putting his knee through him and going all the way to the cage with it like it was some kind of Super Saiyan moment from a Japanese animation.
That was tremendous.
Terrible.
I have
terrible.
one more. I have one more thing, super quick. It's still the era of the Switchblade and New Japan.
Wow.
If you haven't seen the latest show, he came back and beat up Ishii, and it's still Jay White's new era.
We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen with Jay White. Look, every time I thought Kenny was going to leave there, he never did. So
no, he's back.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I thought that wouldn't happen, but it happened. And it's exactly the same way that Kenny Omega did the same thing to me for 3 years when I thought Kenny should leave and go to WWE.
I think he still has like 2 more years on his contract. He worked us so hard.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, it worked. It was great stuff. Kudos to Jay White. So until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.